Week 5 of the high school football season takes us to Lebanon for an all-Wilson County region rivalry, and two teams playing varsity football for each other for the first time. It's the Tennessee Army National Guard's Friday Night Rivals presented by Bart Durham Injury Law as 3-1 Lebanon hosts 4-0 Green Hill. Good evening, everybody. My name's Max Hers, along with former Vandy and Clarksville lineman Bruno Reagan. Bruno, first meeting between these schools is a big one.
Absolutely. It's two schools that are relatively close to each other in the same county, so it's going to be interesting. We could see the start of a new rivalry tonight, Max.
Let's take a look at our keys to the game for tonight, brought to you by Action Nissan. For Green Hill in year number 4, their motto had been build the hill. Now it's climb the hill.
Absolutely. When you come onto the scene as a new program, it's hard to find that early success, but Green Hill has found it, and now it's starting to take those steps to greater heights. You want to start getting to the playoff and then championship aspirations.
Lebanon wants to maintain their status as kings of Wilson County after wins over Mount Juliet the last 2 years and Wilson Central last year.
Yep, new competitor on the scene, new competitor in the county. That means a new competitor to face for the title of king of the city, king of the county, whatever you want. It's local schools going at it.
This game is loaded with a lot of athletes on both sides. Let's take a look at our key players to watch for tonight's game, and we'll start with the man with the highest rated offers. Junior receiver, tight end, 6'5" for Green Hill, Aaron Mattingly.
Aaron Mattingly is going to be the red zone target for Green Hill. He's the big-time scorer for them. He has 6 touchdowns on the season at the halfway point, which is a huge number. Look for Aaron Mattingly to be their go-to guy in the red zone.
The man for Lebanon who will guard him the most and also be the Devils' #1 receiver, the man named to be a key player, Key Crowell.
Key Crowell has 20 receptions on the season, so look for him to get action with at least 8 throws his way. The offense is going to run through him on first down attempts, on red zone attempts. Anytime they need a big play, they're going to go to Key Crowell.
Looking forward to a great matchup between Green Hill and Lebanon tonight. He's Bruno Reagan. I'm Max Hers, and we welcome in our sideline reporter, Sammy Kincaid.
Thanks, Max. For the Bart Durham Injury Law Injury Report, happy to report there is no list tonight because everyone will be back on the field healthy tonight. But like I said, back on the field, so you're going to see some faces for the first time tonight this season. On the Green Hill side of things, you have Garen Camerata, quarterback. He did get cleared last Friday, so he did not play on Friday, but he did play in the JV game on Monday for preparation to possibly play tonight. For Lebanon, you have Brent Duke, the senior running back from a knee injury, as well as safety Jordan Jewell, who will be back. It is his second game back since freshman year. He had Tommy John surgery, then a knee injury in camp, so he's back healthy tonight for his second game. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Sammy. It is a picture-perfect night for a big game to start this new rivalry in Lebanon. Green Hill and Lebanon coming up next on the Tennessee Army National Guard's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law. The Wilson County Sheriffs and the Lebanon Fire Department ready to escort the Lebanon Blue Devils onto the field. Here at Clifton Tribble Field and Danny Watkins Stadium in Wilson County, Tennessee, Lebanon 3-1 so far this year, including 1-0 in region play, 2-0. Hosting Green Hill, who is 4-0, 1-0 in region play. Quite a unique walk-in here. Stop and get some kettle corn on your way through the cop cars. Max Hers, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid here at the Devil's Lair in Lebanon. Temperature in the mid-70s. Big crowd on hand already for Lebanon and Green Hill as the Blue Devils take the field. This is the first time ever that Lebanon and Green Hill have played varsity football against each other. They are now region rivals in Class 6A. Just one loss between them through the first 4 weeks of fall. And these two in-county foes are ready to take on each other under the Friday night lights for the first time ever. And Green Hill takes the field. The undefeated Hawks in the green and white. A 27-20 win to open region play for Green Hill last week at home on the hill against Wilson Central. About 20 minutes down Lebanon Road in Mount Juliet. Where they're in year 4, academic year 4, and year 3 of true varsity football as they join mid-cycle. And here come the Blue Devils. They're going to be some angry birds tonight, Lebanon Cheer says. A game that everybody in this county has their eyes on. Max Hers, Bruno Reagan, Sammy Kincaid. Before we get started, let's go down to midfield for our Tennessee Army National Guard coin toss with our head official, Scott Spielman.
Has a knight for riding the horse, and then the Tennessee flag, all right? You're the visitor today, so you're going to be making the call, either horse or flag. What's your call loud enough for him to hear?
Horse.
Horse.
It's horse. And it's flag. Unfortunately, you've lost. You won and you want to.
Defer to the second. Like to defend our scoreboard.
All right, hold on a second. Got to give that signal. You're going to want the ball, so then they do get the choice. Sorry about that. It's all the choice. All right, you're going to defend the scoreboard? Yes? All right, blue right there, white right here.
So it'll be Green Hill football to get things going as Jack Kleinert and the Devs win the toss. Bruno, what a night. Perfect night for a big region game in the early season.
It is great weather. I'm really interested. There's been a lot of fun. That was an interesting coin toss. Knight and flag. I've never seen that. That was awesome.
We are ready to roll here at Lebanon High. The Blue Devils with back-to-back region wins after a loss 3 Fridays ago in non-region against Upperman. They've defeated Warren County and Cookeville High since then. Green Hill is 4-0. Their best start ever. They'd never even won their opening game in their first 3 years, which included an 11-2 season 2 years ago when they were region champions. They have a region win over Wilson Central last week. Won back-to-back close games. They play a fun spread offense with a whole lot of trickeration. There's Cameron Nixon, the senior kicker for Lebanon, who will get us going once the scoreboard clock is set. Lebanon in the blue, Green Hill in the white, with Nico Duffy and Dallas Jackson deep to receive the kickoff for the Green Hill Hawks in year 4 down the road in Mount Juliet. Their first year in Class 6A football. Wind blowing in the direction of this kickoff for Lebanon. And here we go. First ever varsity football game between Lebanon and Green Hill is underway. Dallas Jackson on the kick return for Green Hill. Starts at his own 7 and has plenty of room down the left side. Dallas Jackson for Green Hill, past midfield and down inside the 35-yard line. 59-yard return to get us started.
A bit of a misplay there by Lebanon. If you look at the left side of the field, Dallas Jackson sees that they're over pursuing him since he caught the ball on the right side. Lebanon, their right side defense, over pursues a little bit. He just cuts it back instantly and says, all right, I'm going to beat you on a foot race.
So Green Hill will start at the Lebanon 35-yard line, led by the 16-year-old sophomore quarterback, Cannon Burrows. First-year starter for the Hawks. Had a great start to the season so far. 12 touchdowns and 1 interception through his first 4 starts, and he can run too, but met immediately by Jordan Jewell. One of the 5 defensive backs for Lebanon in their 3-3-5 stack. Let's meet the Green Hill starting offense for this high-flying group. Burrows, the quarterback. Nico Duffy, the 4th-year starter at running back. 4 receivers led by Aaron Mattingly, plus Braden Jones, Aiden Sadler, and Nick Owens Jr. Offensive line, Ethan Harris, Aiden Card, the only returning starter on the line, with Ronan McNamara, Gavin Euler, and Jonah Parker. They hit Aaron Mattingly for the first time. Their big target, 6'5" with 2 Power 5 offers. And it's a first down after no gain on the first play for Green Hill. It's a BMC Metalworks first down for the Hawks. Their big target, Aaron Mattingly, who's a college tight end but plays split out most of the time. Screen right to Nick Owens Jr. Gains a couple. Damian Calloway in coverage and on the tackle. Here's the rest of the Lebanon starting defense. Up front, Jawan Stafford, Aaron Mills, and Jack Greer. Jack Kleinert may be their best defender at middle linebacker with Weston Binkert and Dylan Sneed. 5 strong DBs. Bryce Nizik is the rover. Dame Calloway and Key Crowell, the corners. Isaiah Mariah and Jordan Jewell, the 2 middle safeties in the 3-3-5 for Lebanon. Head coach Chuck Gentry and defensive coordinator Sean Fry. First touch for Nico Duffy, the Green Hill running back. Sets up a third and manageable, Bruno, as Green Hill gets things going.
Yeah, Green Hill has been moving very fast this series. I've been surprised, but now they're starting to slow it down as they get a little bit into the red zone. So they're being a little more precise with their play calling and who they want on the field now.
Duffy, a two-way starter, headed off the field here. There's Coach Chuck Gentry of Lebanon in his 7th season. His boys ready to defend a 3rd down and 5, with Green Hill going 5 wide. 10 on the play clock as they get to the line. Sophomore quarterback Cannon Burrows on 3rd and 5 from the 15. Under pressure, steps through it. Burrows takes off, has the first down, but there is a flag. Flag right around the line of scrimmage.
Looks like it's going to be a holding there, Max, on Green Hill in their offense.
Our head official tonight is Scott Spielman. First penalty call of the night. It is a hold. Jesse Chesterfield, our umpire. Gary Craddock, our linesman. Scott Pope is the line judge. Dwayne Gross, the back judge. And Rick Martin, the clock operator. 3rd down and 15. They will stay in the 5 wide set. Nick Owens Jr. and Aiden Sadler to the left. Braden Jones and Dallas Jackson, who had the big kick return in the left slot. Mattingly split all the way left, and the throws in between a couple of them incomplete. 4th and 15. The field goal not a big part of the game for either of these two teams. They have attempted a combined 1 field goal between them this season.
Yeah, you see the offense for Green Hill is still on the field. Cannon Burrows still on the field. Lebanon switching out to maybe a more prevent personnel right now.
First drive in this ball game comes down to a 4th and 15 for the Green Hill Hawks. Play clock's at 10. Mattingly comes in close to the line. Play clock at 5 and a timeout from the Green Hill sideline and head coach Josh Crouch. 4th and 15 for Green Hill when we come back. You're watching the Tennessee Army National Guard's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law on MyTV 30. Before the game tonight, the United States Marines National Anthem moment here at Lebanon High School with the Lebanon High School ROTC group presenting the colors. A great sung rendition of the anthem by 5 Lebanon High students, including our scholar athlete tonight, Rachel Moscardelli from Lebanon. So shout out to her. We'll talk to her later as well. Great night here. Whole lot of Wilson Countyans out tonight for Green Hill and Lebanon. Max Hers, Bruno Reagan, Wilson County's own Sammy Kincaid, and our great crew here at Lebanon High. First drive of the game comes to this. 4th and 15 for the Green Hill Hawks. After a 59-yard kick return by Dallas Jackson, started them off at the 35. Our 2 key players lined up across from one another at the bottom of your screen. Aaron Mattingly for Green Hill, Key Crowell for Lebanon. Cannon Burrows throws right, looking for it all and incomplete. Turnover on downs. Damian Calloway in coverage on Aiden Sadler.
Yeah, Lebanon only chooses to rush 3 players here. That means they have 8 in coverage. And Cannon Burrows, while he has all the time in the world, the routes are already developed. So he has to get the ball out, even though it looks like he has all this time. It's a little deceptive, but Lebanon just covered really well there. Didn't give him many options.
So Lebanon takes over their first drive of the game for first-year starter and senior Kason Kincaid, who waited the last 2 years behind Jalen Abston, who's now at Murray State after leading Lebanon to playoff wins in back-to-back years. Key Crowell in the backfield. Their joker, who does it all, gets hit right at the line by Carlos Owens for a gain of 1. Here's the Lebanon starting offense. Sean Heath is the primary running back. Jack Kleiner at the tight end, Dame Calloway, Key Crowell, and John Binion the receivers, as well as Chasten Dickson, who will get in there as well. Offensive line, Gabe Allen, Giovanni Luna Garcia, Sutton Hinesley, Aaron Mills, and Jace Gardner and his blue-dyed hair at right tackle for Lebanon. That starting offense brought to you by BMC Metalworks. Crowell motions into the backfield again. Kincaid fakes to him. Casing Kincaid deep to Chasten Dickson, but incomplete. Here's the starting defense for the Green Hill Hawks. 4-0 so far this season. 3-4 front. Cale Burrows, brother of the quarterback Cannon Burrows, plus Sebastian Cruz and Braden Flackel up front. Aiden Green, Carlos Owens, Nico Duffy, and Dane Ivey the backers. Dallas Jackson and Thatcher Davis are the cornerbacks. Will Milner and Gabe March the safeties. For the Green Hill defense, brought to you by BMC Metalworks. Green Hill in the white, Lebanon in the blue. 3rd and 8 on Lebanon's first drive of the game after their defense held to get things started. Sean Heath, a double handoff to Key Crowell, who's got some room, and a first down. There is a flag along the way. The trickeration works, but we'll check the marker. And it is a hold against Lebanon about 5 yards into the run.
That's not what you want to see if you're either of these teams. 2 of their initial drives brought back by holdings on conversions.
Holding, offense number 50, 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's on the left guard, Giovanni Luna Garcia.
Yeah, and a lot of these times when you get out wide, a lot of people, they end up reaching their hands out and they pull instead of run their feet. You'll get away with most holdings if you're running your feet at a very high level, so there's not much of an excuse of it early in the game.
3rd and 10 now for Chuck Gentry's crew. In his 7th year here, done a great job at Lebanon High. Native of Smith County. We will see next week on our air, the Smith County Owls. First-time head coach, done a great job with it, coaching in 6A. Now they've got a region that features 3 big county rivals, including these Green Hill Hawks, who were in 5A the last 2 years. 3rd and 10, screen pass to Dame Calloway, met behind the line and knocked down. It's 4th down. Cooper Buckner in on first contact.
Very good D here by Green Hill. Not much room for Callaway to work with. I mean, you see 5 Green Hill players swarming to the football, so you'll see that early from defenses. If Green Hill can keep up this kind of effort on defense throughout the whole game, it'll be a big challenge for Lebanon's offense.
Buckner, the senior, their 5th linebacker, play quite a bit. Lebanon to punt. Cameron Nixon punts it away to Dallas Jackson, who had a 59-yard kickoff return to start the game. Makes the fair catch at the 44-yard line. Scoreless game so far. Lebanon's defense with a turnover on downs, and then a 3-and-out for the Green Hill Hawk defense.
Welcome back to Lebanon hosting Green Hill, where we have a scoreless game, and I am pleased to be joined by Staff Sergeant Brian Staggs. First off, thank you so much for joining me, and also thank you for your service. And how is the Tennessee Army National Guard different from other military branches?
Well, really what makes us unique is that we have 2 missions, right? We have a state mission, which is where we're here during the times of need, during natural disasters and state emergencies, so floods, tornadoes. And then we also can be federally activated to help our country during times of need and our allies that we have as well.
And what jobs can somebody have whenever they join the Tennessee Army National Guard?
Well, really, it's kind of up to them, right? So that's the good thing about what the Guard has to offer is that once we find out what they're eligible for, they'll pick what's usually a number combination and a letter combination. So a 19 Delta is a cavalry scout, and we have many others such as military police officers, admin specialists, we have medics. I mean, we have an abundance of different jobs.
And everyone always talks about the benefits of the military, but what benefits are specific to Tennessee Army National Guard?
So the one key benefit that we have to offer over everyone else is the Tennessee Strong Act, where it can pay up to a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. Along with we have health care benefits, dental insurance, and a plethora of other options.
That's fantastic. Again, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much to the Tennessee Army National Guard for being a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. Guys, up to you.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Staff Sergeant Staggs, for being here tonight. And thank you to the Tennessee Army National Guard for their continued support as our title sponsor of MyTV30 Friday Night Rivals. Green Hill with the football. Nico Duffy with the handoff for a gain of 6 to start their second drive of the game. Green Hill got into the red zone, but turned it over on downs on their first drive. And their defense forced a 3 and out. Here's Nico Duffy to the left edge, and a flag comes in late in the area of offensive holding. And it is a hold against Green Hill, so Duffy's first down carry will come back.
Looked like Lebanon got some good pressure on the backside that forced that holding.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Check out the left side of your screen right here for that holding. Yep, you see that right palm on the back of that blue jersey right there. See, he made the mistake. He needs blue gloves if you're playing against blue jerseys. It was way too easy for the ref to see that white glove on that blue color.
Jawan Stafford, the sophomore D lineman, drew it for Lebanon. Going up against a Green Hill offensive line that has 3 sophomores on it. Also a sophomore quarterback and some sophomore playmakers as well. A young group for Green Hill, coming off a 6-5 season last year. Had a chance to win their region and host a playoff game. Lost the season finale to Mount Juliet. Tipped and picked! Intercepted by Jordan Jewell for Lebanon.
The bane of existence for quarterbacks, the dreaded tip drill. You'll throw a ball, wasn't the best ball in the world, but it pops off the heel, it looks like, of the defender. And number 10 for Lebanon, Jordan Jewell, ends up getting the pick and the return to set up Lebanon with great field position.
Bryce Nizik tipped it. Jordan Jewell, the interception. His first ever varsity pick. And as Sammy said right at the start of the game, this is just his second game ever as a varsity player. As Gavin Euler, the Green Hill right guard, was down injured. Good to see Gavin back on his feet. Jordan Jewell's primary sport is baseball. He's a pitcher, and he needed Tommy John surgery. You see that big cast on his right elbow. Missed a whole lot of time in every sport because of that. Then hurt his knee over the summer trying to get back to football. Well, here he is, the junior, getting the start and getting the pick. So Lebanon will start at the Green Hill 26-yard line for their second drive of the game. Sean Heath on the flea flicker to Kason Kincaid, who's sacked. Ball's out, and Kincaid got it back. Braden Flackel with the sack. Cooper Buckner was in right behind, but Kincaid able to scoop up the loose ball.
O-line coaches are always wary of trick plays because a flea flicker is what's called a long-forming play. You have to give up a lot of time for your quarterback to set up with the running back. So you want to sell that run on the flea flicker to get Green Hill out of pass rush mode. Green Hill was not out of pass rush mode. They got the Kincaid.
Flackel, a second-year starter as a junior. It's usually Green Hill that brings the tricks. Lebanon's brought 2 so far. Straight handoff to Sean Heath. Sebastian Cruz on the stop. That'll be 3rd down and 22. Green Hill last week in their home win over Wilson Central started the game with an onside kick, a double reverse touchdown pass, and then a swinging gate fake for 2 after the touchdown.
And the worst part about that, every team they play against now will have to study that film and take time out of their weeks to adapt to these trickeries they're doing because they're working.
Part of the DNA of this new Green Hill program in year 4. Trying to stop a 3rd and 22. It's a screen pass to Chaston Dickson, who falls on his own, with Dallas Jackson breathing on him. 4th down. And Lebanon brings out the punt team.
Yeah, they sent out the screen very well. These 3rd and longs, a lot of defenses will look at each other and they'll say, screen, screen, screen. And some screens have more options. That's where you see him cross over the middle instead of the usual target. But it wasn't enough to cover 22 yards.
So Dallas Jackson, after being in the area of that stop, goes back for the punt return. He'll wait inside his own 5-yard line. Cameron Nixon not rushed, so he'll take his time. So he tries to drop this one inside the 10, and it lands just a yard into the end zone. That was close.
Someone look up. You can see it landed right outside.
There's Green Hill head coach Josh Crouch, who's been the head man since the beginning for Green Hill in year 4. They are 4-0 in year 4. Had big expectations from the beginning of this program, Bruno, they've won back-to-back close games, and the expectations remain despite all the seniors that graduated last year.
And the juice in the middle of their season, playing against Wilson Central, playing against Lebanon, more local teams in their county. It's kind of, what the story of the season is going to be is what dictated last week and tonight.
Yeah, all the big Wilson County dogs are in this 6A region together now, beginning with this year. Wilson Central, Green Hill, Lebanon, and Mount Juliet in the same region, plus Gallatin, Cookeville, and Warren County. Here goes Green Hill on their third offensive series of the game. First touch for TJ Searcy, the speedy sophomore. His third offensive touch of the season is close to the marker.
This is why I love the spread offense. It just tries to get the defense to attack you man on man, and you say, we have more athletic and better football players than you in space. And Searcy gets a lot of space right there. A flag down, Max.
Flag on the far side.
Offense, number 11, 10-yard penalty. Repeat first.
That is the third hold against Green Hill on as many drives. We'll phrase it this way, on as many sets of downs. Josh Crouch not happy.
And I just said why I love the spread. This is why I also hate the spread, because when you spread it out, it allows these players that, are maybe on the edge, not used to blocking a lot, they end up reaching.
Try it again on 1st and 20. Hand off to Omeza Danyon, the sophomore. Younger brother of Cesar Danyon, who played at Mount Juliet the last 4 years and is now a freshman defensive back at Yale. Omeza played some varsity last season as a freshman. This year he is the backup running back and plays quite a bit on offense. That was his 25th carry as we start game number 5. So 2 sophomores in the backfield. The quarterback Cannon Burrows and the running back Omeza Danyon, who gets another touch. Isn't getting far. Jack Kleinert and Jawan Stafford there together for Lebanon. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Yeah, when you start in this position right here, you're just trying to recollect some yards, some field position. You don't want to do anything too risky because the defense will have the advantage playing with so many men in coverage and 20 yards to play. So Green Hill's just trying to collect some yards as they rush it back.
Jawan Stafford, the sophomore, has had a couple of run stops so far in this game. A couple Lebanon players jump. The flag comes in.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 3rd down.
I would like to see Green Hill snap it there. Maybe get a free playoff. Maybe that's something they can work on for the rest of the season. Because when they jump, you have the ability to snap it and drop that outsides. We'll see right here on the ends. Both defensive ends. They get their foot ever so slightly over that line of scrimmage.
So from 3rd and 15 to 3rd and 10 here late in the first quarter of a scoreless game for Green Hill. Burrows hands off to Danyon, who doesn't have it. Dylan Sneed on the stop. And it's 4th and 5. Green Hill brings the punt team out.
I don't hate the call of an inside zone run. That was more of a gap scheme run right there, but Danyon just falls about 3 yards short, 4 yards short away from the first down. It looks like he misread his blocks just a little bit to not be able to convert that.
Sneed, the senior outside linebacker, with the tackle. Plays a key spot in their 3-3-5 stack. Nico Duffy, the two-way starter, is also their punter. They do have some fakes in their bag. They've shown them this year. Lebanon rushes the punt hard. Punt is away. Dame Calloway lets it bounce. And it is down at the Lebanon 38-yard line by Robert Chenault for Green Hill. Here's what Lebanon's done so far this season. They lost in week 2 in a non-region game against Upperman, going to the Cookeville area for that one, Putnam County. But since then, Bruno, 2 decisive region wins back-to-back.
Yep, and then they come in tonight against Green Hill to try and, get ahead of the schedule. And they still have Wilson Central and Mount Juliet to look forward to. You don't want to look forward to it too much, but they have the meat of the schedule still entirely ahead of them.
Just one first down aside as Lebanon starts their third possession. Screen pass to Dame Calloway is going nowhere. Nico Duffy in on the stop, the fourth-year starter who's been there for Green Hill since the beginning.
was an interesting formation to start the drive here from Lebanon. Green Hill was the one coming in with all the trickery. It looks like Lebanon's really trying to open up their own playbook right now.
Kason Kincaid, the senior, first-year starter at quarterback, trying to lead his boys to their third straight region win. Right now, just trying to get it going. Hand off to Chasten Dickson, the receiver who they flex into the backfield. Or excuse me, that's Sean Heath, the primary running back on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and 7 for the Lebanon Blue Devils. Some costly penalties against both offenses, and the defenses have come to play. 3rd and 7 for Lebanon. Kason Kincaid has time, but no options. Room to run to the left. Kincaid has the first down.
Great blocking up front by Lebanon here. What happens is that the edge man on the line of scrimmage for Green Hill on the right side of your screen right there, he tries to rush inside to force some pressure since there was none. Kason Kincaid is able to read that, get outside, and use his legs to get the first down.
That was good for a BMC Metalworks first down for Lebanon and Kason Kincaid. BMC Metalworks providing precision machining and fabrication services throughout the southeast area for over 45 years. Key Crowell into the backfield. Brent Duke, the sniffer, is the lead blocker as Crowell goes against the grain to the right and picks up 5 or 6. Crowell's touches are about equal between rushing and receiving. He does it all for them, just as his older brother Anthony did the last few years. They're just 1 year apart in school. Anthony is now a freshman receiver at the University of Indianapolis playing D2 ball. And UIndy is one of Key's 7 offers.
I can see why they play him out of the backfield, too, because he does a great job of getting vertical immediately after the cut. There's no time wasted when he has the football in his hands.
They will need to snap it at least once more here in the first quarter. Crowell again in the backfield. A double handoff, this time from Crowell to Heath, the running back, who stopped short of the first down. Carlos Owens had him by the legs. Gabe March finished him up high. And it will be 3rd and 2 to start the second quarter for Lebanon.
Yeah, it looked like a double handoff here. They're trying to get Green Hill's eyes, just a little bit mixed up to open some holes rather than trust their offense. I think when Lebanon gets back at the end of this quarter, they need to just get back to some base offense, Max.
A scoreless first quarter here in Lebanon. First ever varsity football game between Lebanon and Green Hill. 0-0 after 1. Welcome back to Wilson County. Lebanon and Green Hill are scoreless as we start the second quarter. Max Hers, Bruno Reagan, and here to tell us more about Lebanon's leadership is Sammy Kincaid.
Hey, Max. When I was talking to Lebanon head coach Chuck Gentry this week, he was telling me that the team's motto is be like a coffee bean. He says it comes from the John Gordon book, and you can either be like a carrot and get soft in your environment whenever it's put into hot water. You could be like an egg and get hard, or you could be like a coffee bean and impact your entire environment. And so he said Key Crowell he has to be that guy for us this year. He plays on all 3 phases of the ball, and if he's up, our team is up. If he's down, the team's down. He has to be that coffee bean and impact us positively throughout the game.
Thank you, Sammy. It's a deep metaphor, but the players seem to buy into it. And that coffee bean has a catch with offensive linemen in front of him on the edge for a first down and more for Key Crowell. He stepped out inside the 30, but he has a first down. Metaphor or no metaphor, Bruno, how about those O-linemen split way left here?
Yeah, we're going to call this the coffee bean formation right here. They had 3 offensive linemen in the middle, and then they brought the 2 tackles that look like outside, maybe lighter guys that can move, just to get Keith Crowell in some space with some blockers ahead of him.
Crowell has 7 college offers, including Arkansas State, Austin Peay, which came earlier this month, and D2 UIndy, where his brother Anthony is a freshman. They fake a double handoff. They've already done 2 of them, and Sean Heath hurdles a man. Picks up maybe a yard. Heath, the senior running back, ran for 1,000 yards last year as a first-year starter for Lebanon. Put on 20 pounds of muscle between then and now to go from 165 to 185. And he says that he feels it when he sheds tackles.
That's the thing about these high school kids. They still got puberty to look forward to. So that's a big muscular gain right there. It helps.
He's run well so far this season. has a preferred walk-on offer from the Marshall Thundering Herd in West Virginia that he says hopes becomes a scholarship offer from them later this fall. They fake to him. Kincaid to Dame Calloway. Touchdown, Lebanon. A Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical touchdown. And Lebanon strikes first blood.
This might be one of the better touchdown throws we've seen on the MyTV 30 game of the week. Just right over the top of the shoulder. Teardrop makes it super easy. Great throw by Kincaid right there to get Lebanon on the board first tonight in the second quarter.
First touchdown catch for Dame Calloway, the junior two-way starter. Cameron Nixon makes the extra point, and Lebanon is on the board in this first ever meeting against Green Hill. Casing Kincaid to Damian Calloway from 32 yards out. 7-0 Devils. Lebanon scores first in the first minute of the second quarter. 28-yard touchdown pass from Casing Kincaid to Damian Calloway. Makes it 7-0 Devils here in week 5 of the high school football season. Lebanon is 3-1. Green Hill is 4-0. And your Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary. 8 plays, 62 yards on a drive that straddles the end of the first quarter and the start of the second. Good look for Lebanon, Bruno.
Really started with that interesting play design where they had 3 down offensive linemen in the middle of the field, and then they got 2 tackles on the line but outside the hash for a screenplay. Lebanon's been bringing some interesting play calling tonight early in this game.
Wilson Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor our local schools and student athletes both on and off the field. So after a scoreless first quarter, just 3 plays needed for a touchdown to start the second for Lebanon. The Blue Devils in the blue kick back to the Green Hill Hawks in the white. Dallas Jackson at a 59-yard run back on a kick return to start the game. He takes off again here. Now down around the 25-yard line, where Green Hill will get started. Jack Greer on the tackle. So 4th drive of the game for Green Hill. Stay tuned for our halftime report with Sammy Kincaid, brought to you by South College. We'll have this week's Rackley Roofing Scholar athletes, interviews with both schools' principals here in Wilson County, first half highlights, and more. South College is where dreams find direction. Green Hill starting at their own 26. Sophomore quarterback Cannon Burrows ready to fire the cannon. It's a short throw to Braden Jones, and it's even shorter than he wanted. Burrows, a sophomore, expected to be in a battle all summer with senior Garen Camerata, who was the backup quarterback last year. Camerata tore his ACL in the spring, and the job became Burrows. You heard Sammy at the beginning of the game say that Garen Camerata has been cleared to return and played in their JV game Monday. So that's certainly good news. But Burrows, the sophomore, remains the varsity starter. Trying to set up the screen to Duffy. They look the other way to their star junior receiver, Aaron Mattingly, who breaks every tackle on the field and loses a shoe out past the 50.
You see him tapping out right there. So whenever your offense is stifled a little bit, get the ball to your best player. Mattingly gets out in space, and that is a big, tall body that can move at a different speed. Look for Green Hill to get to him more as they try to create some consistency on their offense.
6'5", 200 pounds, will be a tight end in college. Plays more as a receiver in this Green Hill offense. In a Tennessean article recapping their win over Wilson Central last week, their head coach Josh Crouch said, yeah, he's a receiver, he's a tight end. Our position for him is Mr. Friday Night. Well, Aaron Mattingly said, we're more of a Friday night team than Mr. Friday Night, but I like the nickname from Coach Crouch. Mattingly back on the field with his left shoe retied for 2nd and 7. Burrows completes to Braden Jones for a first down. And for more on Cannon Burrows' rise to the sophomore starting QB, here's Sammy.
Thanks, Max. Yes, I was talking to them earlier this weekend when I was actually talking to Coach Josh Crouch. He was saying that Garen Camerata, the senior that Cannon took over for, he actually created the signal calling that the coaches use. And I said, that is so unique that the quarterback is the one that created the signal calling. And he said, you know what? I wanted him to create it, so then everyone on the guys on the team would understand. It's not so important that we understand. It's important they understand and that they teach us the signal calling. And so Cannon said it's great to have Garen as a mentor.
Thank you, Sammy. Burrows almost intercepted there by Damian Calloway. That's one of the perks of being in year 4 as a school, Bruno. Your hand signals were created by a current player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's the cool opportunity that gets afforded to you. You know, it can be a daunting task when you're a new school and everything's new, but some guys can really work with that and run with that sort of pressure, Max.
Burrows said he was nervous at first after Camerata got hurt, and he knew the job was his for the whole summer into the fall. But he's gotten more comfortable throwing. He's gotten better at throwing, he says, developed chemistry with his receivers, and ended it with this. Now we're 4-0. It's good to be Cannon Burrows right now. Misfires on that screen pass to Duffy. And it'll be 3rd and 10 for Green Hill High. Lebanon on the board, and Steve Willard trying to get the fans hyped here at Lebanon High School. First ever varsity football meeting between Lebanon and Green Hill. They did play in JV last year. Lebanon won that game, and many of these players who are first-year starters played in that game. Play fake. Burrows. Throws. Intercepted. Yes! Dane Calloway with the pick off of Mattingly. And Lebanon has it back. A touchdown on offense, now a pick on defense for Dane Calloway.
A big game so far for Callaway. Green Hill runs an RPO off of a power scheme, and I think he just leads the throw just a little bit too much, and the ball falls right into Callaway's body. He's able to just bring his arms in and come down with it.
3rd interception of the season for Callaway after he caught his first offensive touchdown of the year. Give that man the Lebanon turnover chain. Blue Devils have the football back. Andrew Hodge in the backfield. He'll serve as a blocker for Key Crowell off the edge. Crowell with a stiff arm, and he steps out after a gain of a few.
Yeah, it looked like a designed outside sweep for that one, Max, but when you have Key on the edge and then you have offensive linemen who are supposed to outrun him for the blocks, it gets a little distorted. I think Key outran his blockers and it got a little muddy there. So if you're those outside leaders on tackle or guard, you got to get on your sprint.
Crowell off the field after that 5-yard gain. Kleiner, the tight end, in motion, and Heath is blown up. Cale Burrows and a whole study group of Green Hill Hawks in on the stop.
Yeah, we're going to see right here. It looks like this was a bring everybody. Even though it was a rush, it looked like everyone was moving towards the line of scrimmage right off the snap. Maybe they're keyed in what Lebanon's thinking on certain down and distances right now.
Cale Burrows first there for the TFL. His younger brother Cannon, the quarterback. 4-year contributor for all 4 years of Green Hill football, as there is an injured Lebanon player. It is the right guard, Aaron Mills, two-way starter. Athletic trainer Jacob Woodard out. Mills back on his feet. Good to see. And Lebanon will face 3rd down and 11. Now up a touchdown.
Need all the O-line depth you can get. They call themselves coffee beans. O-linemen are mushrooms. They grow in the dark, Max.
You're just running with that one, aren't you?
Absolutely. I love it.
He's Bruno Reagan, former Clarksville Wildcat, Vanderbilt Commodore, XFL legend. Max Hers alongside. Sammy Kincaid on the field. Wilson County resident. No relation to Lebanon quarterback Kaysen Kincaid, though they thought there might have been, but we found out no for sure. Kaysen throws right to Key Crowell. Crowell has a first down. Key Crowell past midfield and still on his feet. Finally tackled by Will Milner. Needed 11, got 29 for a Lebanon first down.
Callaway had a lot of the early plays for Lebanon. Key Crowell says, hey, I'm here, guys, too. Moving at a different speed. These cuts, he gets extremely skinny on the point of contact. That way, just Green Hill arm tackles roll right off of him, Max.
They pick up 3rd and 11, and then some for a UA local 572 first down. Kincaid wants it all to Dame Callaway and incomplete. Had single coverage, so the man he hit for a touchdown, and there is a flag around the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul on the defense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty as a result with first down.
Not entirely sure what that could have been. It could have been maybe after the play, Max. I didn't see when the flag was thrown, but personal foul indicates maybe something from Green Hill that could be preventable.
15-yard penalty, and Lebanon will move it. So Lebanon now to the Green Hill 31-yard line. And they'll stack 3 receivers to the left. Chaston Dickson, Dame Callaway, and Key Crowell in a single file line. Their top 3 targets, with John Binion alone on the right. Sean Heath in the backfield with Kaysen Kincaid. Tyler Hurst has taken over at right guard for Aaron Mills after the injury. They wanted to jump right off the bat.
Tell you what, if they do throw this ball, I can guess what route tree they're going to run. There we go. They're spreading them out now.
Crowell, number 6 in the left slot. Play fake. Kincaid runs up the middle. Slung down by Cale Burrows. Pickup of 6. 2nd and 4.
Design quarterback run for a good first down gain. Very efficient run right here. You see it's a read. He can give it to the running back right there. He decides to pull it. Early pulls are great because it lets the defense early have to recognize this quarterback is a threat to pull, and they can't key on the mesh too much.
Kincaid off the field here on 2nd down and 4. We'll go to a direct snap to Sean Heath. Andrew Hodge and Brent Duke blocking for him. Here goes Heath. The running back right up the gut with a head of steam for a Lebanon first down. Went right through Gabe March.
We call this a personality play, Max. Show what you're worth and how much you want it. Right there. I mean, if you run your feet at the running back position, good things will happen.
They do the same set again, and Heath goes left. Hit by Aiden Greer at the ankles to prevent what would have been a 2nd straight first down. Still a gain of 7. Down to the 10-yard line in the Sprints Home Furnishings red zone for the Lebanon Blue Devils.
Line up in the same formation. Might do it again.
They will. Sean Heath on another direct snap down inside the 5. It's 1st and goal.
Look at the offensive line. They're signaling it. Do it again. The offensive line wants the same play. These are just designed Wildcat quarterback draws right up the middle, and they're lining up in the same formation for this goal line play.
24 yards in total on the 3 straight Wildcat snaps. One more for a touchdown. It is a touchdown for Sean Heath, and Lebanon leads by 2 scores. 4 straight wild card snaps. Wildcat brings them 26 yards and a touchdown for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, I called it a personality play. That was a personality series. See if you can stop us. We're going to prove we're bigger, we're stronger, and we want more. That's something that really treads on a defense. I said Green Hill was playing well early, swarming to the ball. So Lebanon was like, okay, you can face us in space. Let's see how you play smash mouth football.
Heath comes off, looking to be in a little bit of pain. Hope he's all right. After 26 yards on those 4 Wildcat snaps. They have a sideline warning against Lebanon. And a sideline warning against Green Hill on the touchdown play. So no yardage either way.
Looked like it was just a stinger for Heath, the quarterback that ran it in right there.
Lebanon ready for the extra point. Ethan Rose the snap, Noah Miller the hold, and Cameron Nixon the kick to make it 14-0 Devs. The Wildcat allows Lebanon to double their lead. Sean Heath makes it 14-0 Blue Devils midway through the second over Green Hill. 14-0 Lebanon back here in Wilson County. Our Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary for this all-Wilson County game. 9-play touchdown drive, 74 yards for the Blue Devils to double their lead. 2-yard touchdown run for Sean Heath, who before they went Wildcat had 5 carries for 5 yards. Then on the 4 Wildcat touches, 26 yards and a TD.
It was also a drive that was really sprungboard by the personal foul, so penalties are really playing a role in this game right now, Max.
Wilson Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor our local schools and student athletes in Wilson County and all counties on and off the field. Nico Duffy on the kick return for Green Hill. Gets out to the 29-yard line. And Green Hill will look to break the shutout. Keep your eyes peeled for our Bart Durham Injury Law Player of the Game. We will make our selection in the fourth quarter later tonight. Green Hill coming off back-to-back close wins. 41-35 over Summit in a non-region game 2 weeks ago. 27-20 over Wilson Central last week. That man Aaron Mattingly said this week they've started too slow in both those games. It's been exciting, and they love the way they played in the second half to overcome those starts. But this appears to be a third straight slow start, Bruno. And that won't help. Jack Greer has his hands on the quarterback. And Blue Devil Nation meets him there. And there is a flag.
Emotion's getting a little bit too into it. All the momentum's in Lebanon. You don't want to give any in return by doing anything silly. And I think they were just hitting the quarterback a little too late there after the whistle, Max.
97. After the play was over, personal foul, 97 defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
So Greer was there first, then 5 other hats met him. And Greer called for the personal foul for slinging the QB to the ground.
Yeah, you see right there. The whistle's being blown this entire time right now. You see the very end, absolutely no need for it. I know a lot of people criticize football for getting a little softer, but that one, that's just after the whistle. You can't do that, Max.
So on the penalty, it's a UA local 572 first down for Green Hill. Sophomore quarterback Cannon Burrows hands off to the senior Nico Duffy. Good gain of 7 past midfield.
We'll see if Green Hill could take advantage of this personal foul just as Lebanon did last drive. Penalties are really the story of this game tonight.
4 penalties for 45 yards against Green Hill. 3 for 30 against Lebanon. And a tackle for loss. Jordan Jewell, who had the pick earlier, got in the backfield. It brings up third down.
Jordan Jewell had a hand on the football there during that one, so it forced the Green Hill runner to kind of collect his feet back instead of fall forward.
Lots of penalties affecting field position so far in this game. And Chuck Gentry calls a timeout on the Lebanon sideline. Gentry in his 7th season as the head coach here at Lebanon High. Has his coordinators here with him since the beginning. Dustin Brady on offense, Sean Fry on defense. This has become a powerful 6A program. They beat Mount Juliet for the first time in decades 2 years ago when we were here. Beat them again last season. They want to be the best team in Wilson County. And now they get to prove it the way this new region lines up.
And they're making great decisions. If they could just eliminate the penalties, they're playing great football right now. The coaching's been pretty good. I mean, this timeout is proof of it because they're heading into a 4-minute option situation where you can swing at 7 points if you get your guys in the right position. They're doing everything right other than just maybe getting a little too emotional with the momentum they have right now, Max.
These teams have never played a varsity game against each other before. That's because Green Hill is in year 4, but the Lebanon players came in at least with the mindset that Green Hill had been ducking them in the past, which isn't really true because there'd only been one scheduling cycle where they could have even played. But they came into it with that mentality, and these boys want a piece of each other. The school's separated by about 20 minutes. The Lebanon student section firing it up with the tropical theme tonight.
It's not out of the ordinary. When I was in high school, I created fake narratives all the time just to get myself and my teammates pumped up. So,
as head coach Josh Crouch, the Smyrna High School and Cumberland football alum, coaching Green Hill. That was a job that many folks wanted, I am sure. It has already become a gold mine as they move up to 6A with lots of success under their belt. Burrows throws to Mattingly for a first down. Their junior star with his third catch of the game. And a first down for Green Hill.
Mattingly was given about 7 yards of separation there from his coverage. If they keep Mattingly that open initially, look for them to go back to him all night.
They go fast, but whistles before the snap. We get an announcement from our head official, Scott Spielman.
Substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
Lebanon not ready for the fast offense. The NASCAR works. There's Aaron Mattingly, now 3 catches on 61 yards for Green Hill.
Lebanon still confused on coverage here.
And off to Duffy. Nico Duffy, close to the marker. Looks like he's marked about a yard short. Aaron Mattingly came into this calendar year with 1 offer from Eastern Kentucky. Since then, he's picked up his first 2 Power 5 offers from Vanderbilt and West Virginia, plus Memphis, Coastal Carolina, and others, as Omeza Danyon picks up the first down. Mattingly's been their guy for explosive plays in the fast pass game. Multiple 50-plus yard touchdowns for him so far this season. He's also talking to Wisconsin, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and more as he begins his junior season, and therefore can talk to any college coach who wants to talk to him. They go back to Mattingly again, the 6'5 receiver. Drags a couple defenders and falls forward for a gain of 7 on first down.
We're trudging into the red zone right now. Mattingly has 6 touchdowns on the season for this Green Hill offense, so look for him to be the main target for a scoring drive, or just get him into space so that way he can move and get efficient runs just like that.
They're in the Sprint's Home Furnishings red zone. Burrows fields the high snap. May have the first down as Bryce Nizik knocks him down. As Green Hill tries to break the shutout. Led by sophomore quarterback Cannon Burrows. Every Friday, the Green Hill players go to elementary schools in the county and high-five the kids as they get out of the car line. Cannon Burrows said that many of the youngsters call him Joe Burrow. Tells you what the folks in the Wilson County community think of their sophomore gunslinger. Cannon on 1st and 10. To the end zone, too high for Nick Owens Jr. First target for Owens, who also plays some Wildcat quarterback.
Just a little too much juice on this throw. Great protection there from Green Hill. The running back getting a chip off the edge. It's a good job, good pocket. Just a little bit too high in a double coverage. It looked like it could have been close to a pick there, Max, but Green Hill still gets the ball with a 2nd and 10.
The sticks are still out at the 11-yard line. Burrows up the middle. Tackled by Jack Kleinert, one of our Tennessee Tough Player of the Game winners from 2 years ago. Josh Corey's tribute to the Gruden Grinder. So big shout out to Jack. Most of those guys are graduated from 2 years ago who joined us at Nissan Stadium for a fun night of football talk. Jack has college offers from Sewanee and Missouri Baptist as he moves from DN to linebacker for Lebanon this season. 3rd and 5. High snap. Broken play. Burrows down in the backfield. Dylan Sneed brings up 4th down.
Mistakes, holdings, personal fouls. Now we can add snaps to the mix. There's just been too much in key situations for Green Hill to overcome. They need these points on the board, especially going into a halftime situation right now.
Green Hill brings the field goal team on as Burrow's in some pain on the sideline. If they kick this, Bruno, this will be their first field goal attempt of the season here in game number 5.
I wonder if this decision has anything to do with Burrow, appearing to be a bit banged up on the sideline right now, that they have to kick this field goal.
Caden Chandler hits it. Is 19 for 19 on extra points. Now 1 of 1 on field goals, and Green Hill is on the board. 14-3 Lebanon with 1:41 left in the second.
It's a good decision. You want points on the board wherever you can get it. It's one thing because you're at that point and you're like, oh, we can really chop it down to a one-score game if we get the touchdown. But what if you get stuffed and Lebanon gets to ride it out from halftime with a 14-0 lead? Just getting on the board gives your team a little bit of that momentum back to say, hey, we're doing some good things. We were able to get on the board, and who knows, that 1 to 3 points could be the difference in your win.
26-yard field goal on our Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary for Green Hill. 12-play drive, 62 yards for the Green Hill Hawks, who went down 14-0 on their last defensive possession. They are on the board, Bruno. Lebanon will get the ball here. Try and score on both sides of the intermission as Lebanon will start the second half with the football.
Green Hill was able to take off 4.5 minutes of that clock there too, Max. So Lebanon doesn't have the offense really that operates well in a 2-minute situation like Green Hills would as a spread. So only having about 1:40 left in play. They do have 2 timeouts, so they can convert this. It's going to be a challenge, though, for Lebanon to climb the field with proper time management.
Stay tuned for the South College halftime report. We'll have this week's Rackley Roofing Scholar athletes, participating school administrator interviews, highlights, and more. South College, where dreams find direction. Dr. Scott Walters, the principal of Lebanon, will be one of our interview guests. He came by before the game and was joined by a group of 10 or so elementary school students who all wanted shout-outs. I think I wrote down probably 8 different YouTube channels that I was supposed to tell you to follow. But a shout-out to JP Wade, EJ Braden, Copeland, Case, and Gentry. I think that's almost everybody. I did watch some of their YouTube videos. They were pretty good. Lebanon back on the ball here as Callaway has some trouble with the kickoff. And some pushing and shoving after the play as these first-time combatants quickly become county and region rivals. So Caden Chandler, his first varsity field goal from 26 yards, gets Green Hill on the board. And on the tackle, go get your tea, son. He's now 20 for 20 on kicks this year. 19 extra points and that field goal.
Getting some work and running off the field, running back on for the kickoff, running down, running back to get the tee. It's good to see specialists work a little bit. Maybe as much as I'm not going to get too much onto the real football player thing, Max. But I'm an offensive lineman. I have to give the specialists a little bit of a tough time.
Lebanon's offense back on the field with touchdowns on their last 2 drives. Senior quarterback Kason Kincaid with Sean Heath in the backfield, who ran the Wildcat set for their second touchdown. Kincaid back in, hands it to Heath. Just a couple of yards there as the Green Hill D-line swarms. Carlos Owens in there, along with a couple others. Lebanon still has 2 timeouts left for head coach Chuck Gentry in the white long-sleeve shirt.
Back.
Another hand to Sean Heath. And again, just a couple. And Green Hill calls a timeout. They want the football back. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, you could tell with the sense of urgency of Lebanon's play calling being that there was none, that they wanted to run the clock out. Green Hill with 2 timeouts left says, okay, we might be able to get decent field position on the punt return, and who knows, get a shot for a Hail Mary or maybe even a longer field goal, attempt the second one of the season.
Here's what Lebanon has done on their last 2 drives after no points on either of their first 2. 17 plays for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. They've turned it up, Bruno.
Maybe turned it up is a word, but maybe they've just gotten back to what they were used to. These are 2 offenses that are performing very admirably when they're not shooting themselves in the foot right now, Max, with either be it penalties or mistakes like high snaps. Two very different styles. Lebanon with more of the pro run it down your throat style. That can spread it out a little bit, and Green Hill being the spread offense right now.
So after runs on 1st and 2nd, 3rd and 5 for Lebanon out of the Green Hill timeout. Key Crowell by himself to the right. He motions in, gets the pitch from Kincaid. Crowell churning his legs, and he has the first down. Key Crowell has been everywhere in the first half for Lebanon.
Yeah, you see Green Hill with Key Crowell going outside on the edge. They're really trying to attack that football right now. They're saying forget the tackle. He's not going to score as long as a lot of us are here. Let's try and get the turnover.
Another handoff to Heath. Sebastian Cruz hit him. And then Aiden Greer came next, along with Cooper Buckner. Lebanon content to keep it on the ground here and take things to the half.
Yeah, these short form rushes right now, it's very hard to block because Green Hill knows that Lebanon's just trying to run the clock out. So they're playing a little bit less on their heels in coverage, more on the balls of their toes, ready to meet the run at the line of scrimmage.
Sebastian Cruz was in there first. Happy to report, by the way, that Lebanon right guard Aaron Mills back in the game after being hurt last drive. And that's it for the first half. Lebanon up 14-3, and they will get the football first as we go to the locker room and get ready for half number 2. Lebanon's 3-1. Green Hill is 4-0. Both teams undefeated in region play. Lebanon back-to-back region wins. Green Hill is 1-0 there. Sammy Kincaid is in the Josh Houston and Associates coach's corner with Lebanon's Chuck Gentry.
Coach Gentry, you said the key is getting more touches. You seem to do that. How do you continue that in the second half?
Well, we got to just keep getting him the ball different ways and keep doing what we're doing, not hurt ourselves. Get lined up on defense, be better in special team game for sure. But, just try to spread it around and kind of keep them off guard. We did good when we went to Wildcat, probably have to come back to that. But, just get him the ball and block for him when we get it because, he's very explosive.
And you wanted to hold the clock just then, run the clock out. How big is it to have that 14-3 lead going into half?
Well, right there, we were going to try to get a little momentum, didn't get any. So, new game, 0-0. We'll approach it that way. We get the ball second half. Got to come out and score, set the tone.
You're like in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Gentry. Thank you, Sammy. That is the Josh Houston and Associates Coach's Corner, a one-source Scholastic product experience. Lebanon 14, Green Hill 3 at halftime. The South College halftime report is coming up next.
You're watching the South College Halftime Report. South College, where dreams find direction.
Throughout the Friday Night Rivals regular season, Rackley Roofing will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. Here are this week's Rackley Roofing Scholar athletes.
We are with the Rackley Roofing Scholar Athlete of the Week, Aiden Card, who has a 4.0 GPA. He's a guard on the team, and he has a pretty darn good beard for a guy in high school.
Yes, I spent many years working on it.
Many years. How old are you?
17.
Wow, so he started when he was 7. No. So 9. So you obviously are good at, what's your favorite subject in school? You're a 4.0 student.
It had to be science.
Science. Now, do you know where you want to go to college?
I don't know exactly where, but I know I want to do athletic training so I can help out guys that play sports just like I do.
That's fantastic. A lot of ways knowing what you want to do is way more important than where you go.
Yeah.
Aiden Card, left guard. He's very sturdy. I think he could pancake me, but he's happy right now. The Rackley Roofing Scholar Athlete of the Week from Lebanon High School, soccer player Rachel Moscardelli. What position you play?
I play center mid.
Center mid, everyone knows. Number 10?
I'm actually number 2. But
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that traditionally, right, it's a number 10. She is so accomplished. She has some crazy GPA, 4.45732. It goes into the thousands and the decimal points, huh? And one of the best things of all, you heard her earlier maybe sing the national anthem. Could you give me just the "Oh Say Can You See"?
Oh, say. I'm not singing it by myself. We're doing it's like a quartet for choir. So yeah, we're doing like a 4-part harmony, all girls. It'll be great.
Okay, well, what the heck? I've got my hand over my heart. So tell me, do you want to sing professionally? What's college look like for you?
I don't. It's just been a great extracurricular. I've loved the program here. I've always loved music, but I'm not really looking to go into that for college. I'm interested right now in international affairs, but that could always change. I'm pretty undecided so far.
Well, whatever you do, you're going to be successful because you are killing it right now.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Rachel Moscardelli from Lebanon High School.
These students and other nominated students are eligible to win a $10,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Rackley Roofing. Rackley Roofing is the proud sponsor of the Friday Night Rivals Scholar Athlete Award.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
I am joined by the Green Hill High School principal, Kevin Dawson. Mr. Dawson, thank you so much for joining me on your birthday.
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
And this is a new rivalry. First time that you guys have played each other. New school with a lot of school spirit. Lebanon, a school with some history and a lot of school spirit. Tell me a little bit about this matchup, though.
Yeah, we're really excited. Lebanon has a lot of tradition. They've got great school spirit. And so being able to come over here and start off this football rivalry is very exciting. We've been able to play them in a lot of other sports, but this is the one that's been left out. So it's great to come over here tonight and for them to host us.
And I think the coolest thing that we'll talk about tonight is this early college program. What is it? Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so Cumberland University is partnering with us, and we're offering our students the opportunity starting in 11th grade that during their junior and senior year, they can work towards their associate's degree. So when they graduate with their high school diploma, they'll also have an associate's degree at the same time.
That's absolutely incredible that they get that opportunity. And I know you also want to give some special thanks tonight. Who do you want to give those special thanks to?
I want to thank all of our community partners, our coaches, our sponsors of our clubs, just for supporting us and helping us continue to build the hill.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for joining me in the South College Halftime Report. Whenever we come back, we're going to have stats, highlights, a whole lot more for you. Stick with us.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University. You're watching the South College Halftime Report. South College, where dreams find direction.
Welcome back to Lebanon, where they lead Green Hill 14-3, and I'm joined by the Lebanon principal, Dr. Scott Walters, and thank you so much for hosting us tonight. It's been 2 years since Lebanon's hosted FNR, so how does it feel to be hosting tonight against Green Hill?
It's great. We've done it several times. We didn't get to do it last year, but we love having y'all out. It's a good energy, and hopefully we put on a good show and a win.
And tell me a little bit about your head coach, Chuck Gentry.
So my second year here, I hired Coach Gentry, and we needed a lot of change, and he brought it, and it's been good. He's been here for 7 years now, and he's built some great things, and you can see it on the ball field. But most importantly, you see it in the way the boys are become young men, the way they act in the hallways at school and out in the community, and so I'm really proud of them and him and everything they've done here.
And you have a really great band that's been behind us. Tell me about the band program here.
Band is big here as well. Everything's big here. We're just big. But the band, man, they put in a lot of work. They're out here practicing more hours than anybody, even I dare say the football team, sweating. And they're here late nights. They're here on weekends, and they always put on a good show at halftime. They compete a lot, and so we're really proud of them as well.
I think Coach Gentry might have something to say about that, who's out on the football field more, but you also have some new administrators, correct? Who are they?
Yeah, we had a little turnover in our administrative team. We've had the same team for a long time, and I had 2 women who left last year and 2 new ones who are on the team this year, and they got a lot of energy and brought a lot to the team, and they're making my life a lot easier, so I appreciate them a lot.
You are who you surround yourself with, right?
That's right. And I'll give them a shout-out. It's Rachel Peterson and Kayla Crutcher, so we're glad to have them.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for hosting us tonight. And this is the South College Halftime Report. Whenever we come back from break, we'll have stats, highlights, a whole lot more for you. Stick with us.
This week's Friday Night Rivals Educator Spotlight is presented by Western Kentucky University. Climb higher at Western Kentucky University.
Halftime here at Lebanon High, where the homestanding Blue Devils lead Green Hill 14-3 in this region game, and the first ever varsity football game between these two in-county rivals. Green Hill is 4-0, Lebanon is 3-1. Neither team has lost a region game yet. It's been a good one so far. Lebanon up 14-3 as we give out some footballs with the Walters crew of many, many YouTube channels throwing them out. Here at Lebanon, Max Hers and Bruno Reagan. You just saw Sammy Kincaid down on the field as the Lebanon band gets set up with the old school Lebanon backdrop here at Lebanon High. Bruno, an interesting first half. Lebanon trying to be the kings of this county and beat everybody from the county on their schedule over the last couple of years. Took a 14-0 lead. Green Hill got the field goal at the end, but Lebanon still a 2-possession lead as we go to the second half.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for in this game, Max. I mean, when you get to this point, we see a lot of we see a lot of teams early in the season where they take a loss, even if it's a region loss. I'll say it's not that big of a deal. You have a lot to build on. It doesn't define your season. We're starting to get to the point where people's seasons are being defined. So, Green Hill, hey, for all we've talked about climbing that hill, they have to climb out of another one tonight, Max.
This is game 5 of 10 for both these teams. Lebanon with a 14-3 lead, and gives us a chance to take a look at the first half highlights from this one tonight. First up, the highlights for the Green Hill Hawks on the road against Lebanon for the first time. They started with a bang. 59-yard kick return on the opening kickoff by senior Dallas Jackson for Green Hill. They would start at the 35-yard line, but unable to get any points as penalties hurt them. Went for it on 4th and 15, did not get it. Green Hill's defense had some big moments, including this sack by Brayton Flackel on a flea flicker try by Lebanon that did not yield anything, thanks to Flackel getting in there. Their star receiver, Aaron Mattingly, had 4 catches for 67 yards in the first half, highlighted by this 30-yard shoeless catch and run for Mattingly, who will look to find the end zone in the second half. They did score to break the shutout down 14-0 on their final drive. First field goal of the season for Green Hill as Caden Chandler hits the 26-yarder to cut it to 14-3. Here are the best plays of the first half for Lebanon. 2 interceptions on defense. Bryce Nizik with the tip. Jordan Jewell with the pick on the second drive of the game for Green Hill. It would not directly lead to points, but 2 drives later, Kason Kincaid to Dame Calloway. 28-yard touchdown pass to make it 7-0 Lebanon in the first minute of the second quarter. They would get it back with another pick. Cannon Burrows looking for Mattingly, but it's off of him and right to Dame Calloway, who holds on for Lebanon's second interception of the ball game and points off the turnover as they go to the Wildcat, and Sean Heath scores from 2 yards out. 14-0 Lebanon at that juncture. And the score at halftime is Lebanon 14, Green Hill 3, as we take a look at the pretty even first half stats, Bruno, other than those 2 picks.
Absolutely. When you see even stats, there's one statistic that's going to define how the game's going, and that's turnover margin right now. So turnover margin's in favor of Lebanon at -2. That's why the score is much more in their favor coming out of halftime right now.
Some impactful early penalties, but things evened out after that. Lebanon 14, Green Hill 3, as we prepare for the start of the second half. Each week during halftime of our Friday Night Rivals broadcasts, we showcase outstanding Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals game highlights from all across the country. Let's check out some of the best from last week's action.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Very sad he has to miss this game, but his brother just made a big play. They're arguably Station Camp's 2 best players. Here comes the best player on the field for Springfield. C.J. Cobbins is everywhere. 97 yards to the house.
4th down and 1. The game on the line. They hit it to McCullum, and he gets up to the outside. He's to the 10, steps inside to the 5, and the big man, Angelo McCullum.
Wants to air it out, looking for Donnelly up the near side. He's got him inside the 20. First down, Trojans.
Running the ball today.
On a first down, they're going deep, and he's got Caden Lloyd. And the first play of the game goes for a touchdown. Shotgun snap, Eves far side. That's caught.
Bruce Lass going over the middle. Picked off! A game-saving interception.
Intercepted. Ball game.
The freshman Colton Overby to win it. Intercepted by Alan Dickerson. Springfield wins. We are ready to start the second half here in Lebanon with the Devils up 14-3 over Green Hill. Just don't tell the band. They'll get things cleaned up as the football boys retake the field. Lebanon 14, Green Hill 3 as we start the second half. This is the Tennessee Army National Guard's Friday Night Rivals, presented by Bart Durham Injury Law here on MyTV 30. My name is Max Hers with former Clarksville High, Vanderbilt, and XFL offensive lineman Bruno Reagan. Sammy Kincaid down on the field, and we will get the rather impressive props of the Lebanon band off the field and get back to football here, Bruno, in this big region game.
Absolutely. Green Hill, when you're down 14-3 and you go into halftime and you look at each other and you're like, do we need to really change anything? It's more clean things up. I think some balls have landed, unfortunately, into the Lebanon's hands, but Green Hill, there's no need to panic. It's just climbing that hill once again.
They built the hill over the last 2 years. Now their team motto is climb the hill over at Green Hill, up the hill from Lebanon Road. And we've got a few minutes of warm-up time to get us ready for the second half. A good, clean first half for Lebanon. Green Hill will kick to Lebanon to start the second half. And if you're Green Hill, Bruno, what types of adjustments are you making here?
Well, if you're the offense, you need to have longer, more committed drives, because when you play a spread offense and you go 3 and out or maybe 2 possessions and out, what happens is your defense is on the field way too long, especially with Lebanon, who has a great rushing attack. They're going to stay on the field a long time. That's going to catch up in the late third, early fourth quarter. So Green Hill has to sustain drives with efficient plays and not get too crazy, cut out the penalties, cut out the turnovers, or else that hill is going to be a lot bigger to climb as the game goes longer.
On the Lebanon side, they were really able to establish Sean Heath out of the Wildcat, and Coach Chuck Gentry told Sammy they want to keep feeding him and maybe even go back to that if they can.
Absolutely. It's going to come to the right field position, though. You don't want to be on your own 20 trying to run a Wildcat for 13 plays down the field. You still want to get a base offense and run the things that your team is used to. When you get into a situation, maybe a 3rd and short, a 4th and short, you have 2 extra downs, you can bring back that Wildcat. But until then, I think Lebanon's right where they are because they're executing their base a lot better. So no need to get crazy and move away from that.
This is week 5, already the halfway point for both these teams. Let's see what we got coming your way on MyTV 30. For the rest of this regular season through week 10 is as far as we have scheduled. Next week, we'll be showing you some 2A football as East Robertson and Smith County play a big region game. Then after that, East Nashville at Smyrna. We'll take the bye week with many counties fall break on October 6th. Then October 13th, the back-to-back-to-back state champions from Oakland welcome Coffee County. Then for week 10, BA and Lipscomb Academy in a private school game. And we will also show games week 11, a game we'll pick week of, plus the first 3 rounds of the playoffs here on MyTV 30 as well. So you know where to find us for high school football. Sammy Kincaid is in the Josh Houston and Associates Coach's Corner with Green Hill head coach Josh Crouch.
Coach Crouch, a lot of big penalties in key situations. What was your message, especially to the defense on those penalties?
Well, I thought defense we played pretty well of containing the run and stopping 5. 6 has gotten loose a couple times on big 3rd downs, but we get inside the red zone twice and have 2 penalties. And ultimately, against a good football team, you can't have penalties. Put yourself behind the chains.
But you got 3 points on the board, so now 14-3. What was the message to the offense to get the ball going?
Yeah, I felt like we got some momentum there. We did a good job. We drove it about 80 yards and finished with some points. Again, we have a high snap, and once we get down there, we got to find a way to get the ball across the goal line. Field goal's not going to win it, so we're gonna put our hard hats on and try to come out here and play a clean football game.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Coach Crouch. That is our Josh Houston and Associates Coach's Corner, a one-source Scholastic product experience. Temperature in the low 70s and dropping. We see some long sleeves out for the first time this fall here at Lebanon. Simply gorgeous, clear night for high school football. And Lebanon will receive the kick to start this second half. Green Hill has been known to pooch it, to onside it, whether out of the halftime locker room or even to start games at times this year. We haven't seen too much trickery yet from Green Hill. It's been Lebanon going to the tricks so far.
And I will say it, those aren't things you want to pull out every single week. You do show them to get on film and force the opposing team you're playing that week to take time to look at it on the film room. But if you execute these things every week, at a certain point, it's not going to be a surprise, Max. So we're looking at the point where, like, watch out for surprises. But the Lebanon special teams know, too, that they have to be on their toes.
Let's go back to Sammy for our Bart Durham second half injury update.
Hey, Max, good news for the Bart Durham injury law update. There is no update. Everyone is healthy. Everyone will be back out on the field. That is your Bart Durham injury law injury update.
Thank you, Sammy. Lebanon right guard Aaron Mills was hurt, but he came back in the next series. So all good news. And some of the guys who came back into the lineup over the last couple of weeks that Sammy talked about to begin the game have made plays, headlined by Jordan Jewell, who had a pick for Lebanon. Sophomore Caden Chandler ready to kick off the second half for Green Hill in the white and green. It is a deep kick. Returnable for Key Crowell, the man who they want with the football. Started up. Here goes Crowell with speed. Crowell past midfield. Cuts back with a stiff arm and down at the 30. Key is the key. And Lebanon starts the second half with a bang.
The thing that makes Key Crowell so special when he has his hand in the football, watch at any point the Green Hill defenders are about to make contact. Key gets skinny. So watch right here. He's skinny through the hole. He's skinny through the cut. Gets a little bit of space with his arm. Able to get some great field position right now.
There's a flag about 20 yards into the return that was certainly not thrown. The flags have been more dropped tonight than thrown. But it looks like this 50-yard return will not count for Crowell, and nobody really realized it.
On the return, Blue.
Us included.
Number 21, 10-yard penalty. First down.
I double-checked for that one, too, Max. I was scanning the field just to make sure, but they're sneaky with these flag drops today.
It is a small officiating crew, only 5 refs on the field. So it certainly has something to do with it. But we appreciate their work. And there have been some big penalties tonight. So Lebanon, instead of the plus 30, will start at their own 22. And the clock never stopped. That was a long kick return, but it did not take a minute and 23 seconds.
A minute 23 seconds. I wonder what the longest play in football is. That might be up for it if it did stand and the referees didn't catch it.
I think Key Crowell can do 2 laps around the track in cleats. And Josh Crouch says, hey, good catch, guys.
Week 1, we saw some issues, not really issues, but operation stuff with referees. As we're starting to get later into the season, it's getting cleaned up a little bit more. This one's a bit of an outlier for this game tonight. The officiating crew has done a pretty good job so far, and the clock has done a really good job. So right now we're just getting set up.
All right, we're ready to roll with the first offensive snap of the second half for Lebanon. No 50-yard return. They'll start at their own 23. Kason Kincaid, 8 for 10 for 66 yards and a touchdown in the first half for Lebanon, the senior quarterback. Has Sean Heath in the backfield with him. 12 carries for 32 yards and a touchdown out of the Wildcat in the first half for number 5 for Lebanon in the blue uniforms. Play clock's at 3. They get it off. Kincaid to Chasten Dickson. Too far. Covered by Thatcher Davis. Lebanon takes a shot on the first play of the half.
As the play clock was winding down to about 5 seconds there, it looked like Kason Kincaid had a matchup, and you saw him rub his rib right there. That was a signal that I'm just going to, whatever happens, I'm going to throw it to you on a big one-on-one matchup. You see he even messed up his little fake read. He went to the wrong side of the running back. But they weren't able to convert just because of some miscommunication on the timing.
They said they love Dickson one-on-one. Just 1 catch for 3 yards for the senior number 2, Chasten Dickson, in the first half. And then Jack Kleinert moves left. Here goes Key Crowell in motion. He gets the pitch. And he's knocked down in the backfield. Sebastian Cruz backs him up 8.
That's not something you see every day, Key Crowell getting hawked down from the back, but it's mainly because if you see Key Crowell in motion, who's the ball going to? Probably Key Crowell. So you're able to stiff the line and attack the point where he's going to be instead of ending up chasing. That's what Sebastian Cruz did. Went right through the line and met him at the point of attack. Great play on defense.
Cruz, the senior D tackle, in the middle of that 3-man front. Third and long. Screen to Crowell, and it's blown up. Dallas Jackson takes care of that, and it's a 3-and-out for the Green Hill defense.
Green Hill needed this momentum shift. Watch right here. A lot of times with wide receiver screens, DBs will be posted up on their heels and get caught a little off guard. Not right there for Dallas Jackson. He breaks on the ball as early as possible to attack it at the point of the catch and catch the offense off guard. Great defensive play and series for Green Hill.
Jackson back and ready to return this punt after the third down stop at corner. Cameron Nixon punts it away. Jackson had a 59-yard kick return to start the game. No chance to return that punt. It bounces out around midfield. So Green Hill's offense will take the field for the first time in the second half. You heard their head coach Josh Crouch tell Sammy he was very happy with that lengthy field goal drive, 12 plays, 62 yards, but they got to punch it in.
Yes, and he had a lot of poise during his conversation. You know, I think a mistake some younger or early coaches make, or especially with new programs, is when you get behind, you start feeling that sense of pressure or urgency. He was like calm, collected. He was like, we're doing good things. We just need to sustain these drives, cut out the penalties, get the ball to our key players, and we'll be fine, Max.
They'll come back out in their typical four-wide look for sophomore quarterback Cannon Burrows, who it's Nick Owens Jr. on the screen, and Owens is off for a first down for Green Hill.
Great job by Owens Jr. there to shake that first initial defender that shed the block and was able to get into the backfield. Very athletic play there to set up a great first down play.
14 yards for a BMC Metalworks first down for Green Hill High School. Burrows to the left has his man Braden Jones for another Green Hill first down. Everybody getting in on the act. Jones had just one catch in the first half. The seniors, their leading receiver in terms of catches coming in.
On the left side, they have Mattingly running the go route down the edge that opens up the flat, and they get their players out in the open with this new look right now.
Hand off to Nico Duffy, who's got room on the ground. Down inside the 15. 3 plays and over 40 yards for the Green Hill offense.
When you're a spread offense, your passes open up your run game as well. Right now, Green Hill's opting to go fast, and with this new mix of run and pass, they have all the options in the world available to them.
They're in the Sprints Home Furnishings red zone. 1st and 10 at the Lebanon 11. Three straight first downs on Green Hill's first possession of the second half. Burrows to Aaron Mattingly. Touchdown, Green Hill! Through the contact, Aaron Mattingly makes it a one-possession game.
As Max said, on this throw, when you're in the red zone, they're going to go to Mattingly, and Mattingly fights through contact and uses his length to reach out as far away from the defender as possible, giving him no chance to defend that ball. And really, he had to use his body. Great play by Green Hill there, and now the momentum is on their side.
They showed the swinging gait, but now will motion into the extra point after Mattingly's 7th touchdown in 5 games this season. The junior with offers from Vanderbilt, West Virginia, Memphis, Coastal Carolina, and more. Says right now Vanderbilt is his closest relationship. He's also talking to Wisconsin, Tennessee, and Mississippi State. Chandler makes the extra point, and it's a 4-point game. Aaron Mattingly gets doubled a lot. He gets crowded. On this one, he got held. No problem. 4 plays, 4 first downs, and a touchdown for Green Hill to start the second half.
Welcome back to Lebanon, where they lead Green Hill 14-10, and I am joined by Marines Sergeant Jonathan Gardner. And Sergeant Gardner, first off, where are you from, and where did you join the Marines?
Absolutely. So I was raised and recruited out of Bristol, Virginia, about 4 hours from here.
And what job do you have in the Marines?
So currently I am a canvassing recruiter based out of Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
And if somebody is watching this and they're from Lebanon High School or Mount Juliet High School, how can they get in contact with you if they're interested in joining the Marines?
So if you're a student at either Lebanon High School or the other high schools, you can always best reach me at my cell phone, 615-336-3118.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much to the U.S. Marines for being a sponsor of Friday Night Rivals. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Sammy. Thank you, Sergeant Gardner. Shoot him a text. Why not? Aaron Mattingly's been getting a lot of texts from college coaches. He says, it's great to have no more rules limiting him in his recruiting as he starts his junior season. Just normal conversations with college coaches who see him do what he just did. 6'5", 200 pounds. Touchdown to finish off that great drive for Green Hill on our Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary. 4 plays, 49 yards. All 4 plays were first downs, and Green Hill has their first touchdown of the game, Bruno.
Yeah, I mean, can you ask for a better response from Greenhill coming out at halftime? They force a great defensive series, and then they come out on offense, execute on all sides in the run and the pass game. Couldn't have gone better for them, Max.
Now 5 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown for Aaron Mattingly in the 5th game of his junior year. Greenhill kicks it short for the first time tonight, but Lebanon handles it easily. That's Jawan Stafford, defensive lineman, who catches the short kickoff. Reminder that when we're done tonight, following Fox 17 News, tune in for Fox 17's FNR Football Frenzy for complete coverage of all the Mid-States high school football action. Fox 17's FNR Football Frenzy is presented by Wilson Bank and Trust, proud to sponsor our local schools and student athletes, both on and off the field. Jill Jelnick and Big Joe Dubin have you covered on Fox 17 tonight from 9:30 to 10, and then again from 10:15 to 10:30. And Big Joe better be giving me lots of updates on the Chucky Dope game tonight. 14-10 Lebanon in the lead as their offense retakes the field. Led by Casey Kincaid, the senior first-year starter quarterback, who takes gifted classes at Vanderbilt, has done so since 7th grade. His primary interests are microbiology and astrophysics. Here he hands off to Sean Heath. No gain for Heath as Greenhill's defense looks to keep the momentum on their side.
I didn't take those classes at Vanderbilt even when I was going there for college, Max.
I didn't either, don't worry. Kincaid said his interests long-term are neuroradiology, possibly becoming a trauma ER doc. He also loves outer space. His options are certainly open going forward.
This young man has everything going for him. I certainly wasn't thinking this way when I was 17 or 18, so props to him. That's a mature young man.
Well, he makes another call here that he likes, Bruno, rubbing his rib, as you said, but this time it means handoff to Sean Heath. Heath's first good carry of the half is a big one. Sean Heath. There is a flag. Right around the line of scrimmage. On what would have been a 63-yard touchdown for Lebanon. It is holding against Lebanon.
Such a shame. We're talking about how smart Kincaid is, and then he goes out and we see he makes some sort of audible call with his rib, and then they get the touchdown off of that play. But Lebanon, once again on an explosive play, bringing it back all the way to the other side of the field. That is very demotivating for an offense.
Holding. Offense number 21, 10-yard penalty, remains second down. Okay.
So second down and 20 now for Lebanon after the 63-yard touchdown comes off the board. 14-3 Lebanon was the halftime score. Greenhill a 3-and-out on defense and a quick touchdown on offense to start this second half on the road. Crowell in motion. They get back to him on a screen that he catches with one hand, then gets drilled by Nico Duffy. The 4th-year starter, Nico Duffy, lays the wood, and it's 3rd and long.
Greenhill is covering the deep options really well. You see Kincaid can't even get his eyes out there with the rush. He has to get the ball out super quick, and the flat is covered by multiple Greenhill defenders. They are coming out to play in the second half right now.
Duffy, the star outside backer, also their starting running back, has offers from UT Martin, who wants him to play offense, and Eastern Kentucky, who wants him to play defense. He's also spoken with Austin Peay and UPenn about a possible Ivy League football career. 3rd and 22 for Lebanon. Kincaid, incomplete. Broken up by Carlos Owens on Key Crowell. 4th down.
Lebanon's been struggling to get these more longer third downs to get even lined up and get a play called. Kincaid's at the line of scrimmage, and there's confusion everywhere. People don't know where to line up, where the routes are, and the ball just kind of has to come out. All the momentum is on Greenhill right now.
Their crowd's making some noise as well on the visitor side bleachers. Head coach Chuck Gentry giving his senior quarterback a deep breath. 2 3-and-outs for the Lebanon offense and a botched punt, and they can't get it off. Greenhill picks it up at the 11. Robert Chenault was the first man in.
Jacob!
And the Hawks will start in the red zone.
When you take a look at this play, the Lebanon punter feels that initial pressure. So he drops the pass, feels the initial pressure right there. He's designated as a runner at that point. So you are allowed to make contact with the punter, and that's what the Green Hill special teams does right there. They force the ball out, so even if they don't recover it, it's a turnover on downs.
Chenault nearly blocked it, forced the punter to hold it. Then Cooper Buckner fell on it. Green Hill a chance to take their first lead of the game, starting at the Lebanon 11. Cannon Burrows runs it himself. He's down around the 1. Depending on where they spot it, that may be first and goal. He's short. It's 2nd and 1 from the 2. Burrows hands to Nico Duffy, who's in the backfield. Jack Kleinert, the first man in. It's 3rd down.
Spread offense start to struggle a little bit in goal line situations. You see they have 5 offensive linemen up on the line of scrimmage, so they get to get away with playing man, and they only have to cover 10 yards of space where the rest of the defense can just go on and attack the line of scrimmage in the run.
Jack Kleinert, our Tennessee tough guy from 2 years ago for Lebanon. Took a great senior banner picture here. He's down on one knee, holding the football like it's a pistol.
Wow, I need to go check that one out. I was looking at all of them.
First direct snap of the night for Nick Owens Jr. He throws it to Aaron Mattingly. Touchdown, Green Hill, and the Hawks are ahead. Nick Owens Jr. takes a handful of direct snaps every game, but he hadn't thrown a pass yet this season. Well, he just threw his first.
They run a fake gap scheme, jump pass to who else? The wide receiver, sort of tight end hybrid, but they only really say that because he's 6'5", and he has the size of one. Who better to throw a jump pass to than someone that you can't possibly overthrow, Aaron Mattingly?
Nick Owens Jr. to Aaron Mattingly as one receiver throws to another, and Green Hill gets their first lead of the football game. Owens was a running back in middle school, their freshman year quarterback 2 years ago, a backup quarterback last year. This year they moved him to receiver, a little bit of running back, and some direct snaps where he'd either been running or handing it off. That was his first ever varsity throw. He knew he could do it, just needed the chance. Extra point is good by Caden Chandler. 17 unanswered for Green Hill on their last 3 offensive possessions around halftime, including 2 touchdowns to start the second half and take a lead. Before the game tonight, Sammy Kincaid presented Dr. Scott Walters from Lebanon High School with a $500 donation as a thank you for being our host school this week. First time in 2 years we've been here at Lebanon. Always great to be here for both football and basketball at the Devil's Lair here at Lebanon High School. 2 touchdown drives to start the second half for Green Hill in their first ever varsity football game against Lebanon. Wilson Bank and Trust shows you the 11 yards needed after the blocked, fumbled, and recovered punt. 4-yard touchdown pass from Nick Owens Jr. to Aaron Mattingly. Bruno, that is 7 plays for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns to start the second half for the Hawks.
Yeah, and Mattingly's been their scorer. When we were talking about our players to watch coming into the game, Mattingly had six touchdowns in the halfway mark of the season. So when you get into any sort of red zone scoring, once we're at the end of the field, Aaron Mattingly is going to be the go-to guy no matter what. So if you're Lebanon, you have to really start to key in on this guy at any situation defensively.
He now has 17 catches this season. 8 of those 17 are touchdowns.
That's a great rate for any receiver. Any receiver would kill for that rate right there, Max, because you want to be the guy scoring the touchdowns with the camera, especially when you're on TV.
His first year as a starter. Coming a big way, and here's an onside kick, and Green Hill's got it! Caden Chandler for the brand. And they're climbing the hill.
The Lebanon coaching staff was a little fired up there. They thought he might have touched it a yard earlier. We're going to take a look right here. All it has to do is cross the 10-yard mark. You see the kicker's trailing it down right now. That's 10 yards, Max. He was able to recover it himself. And you called it before the game. Green Hill's going to show us some trickery. There we go. When all the momentum's on their side.
Pat McAfee, line one. It's Green Hill football. 17 unanswered points for the Hawks, and they are back on offense, rumbling forward with Nico Duffy as they start at midfield. They started their game last week against Wilson Central with an onside kick. Year 4 of Green Hill football. This is their identity. Explosive, fun, and they've been late bloomers over their last 3 games, but in the second halves they have come alive. No exception tonight. Cannon Burrows to Aaron Mattingly, who had that last touchdown. He's got them both, and he's got a first down here for Green Hill as he approaches 100 yards receiving.
Giving Mattingly a lot of room off of the line of scrimmage. They're giving him about an 8-yard cushion where they can get the ball to him quick.
Now 7 catches for 94 yards for Mattingly in those 2 touchdowns here in the second half. Duffy on the ground, still on his feet. Gain of 8. Green Hill averaging close to 10 yards per play on 3 second-half drives here in the third quarter. They'll stick with the tempo. Ameza Danyon in at running back. Mattingly to the left. Jones, Sadler, and Owens to the right. It's a keeper for Cannon Burrows, the quarterback, who's hit and dropped by Dan Calloway, but he may have enough for the first down.
Yep, forward progress is going to signal that one for a first down. And Green Hill, these past few games, coming out to slow starts, they say they want to start a little faster, but if at any point Green Hill is down 14, you might be right where they want you.
They beat Summit 41-35 2 weeks ago in Spring Hill. Wilson Central 27-20 at home last week. Started slow and trailed at points in both games. Another good snap for Ameza Danyon. His first touch of the second half, sophomore running back.
Danyon's doing such a good job at being efficient on first down, not doing anything crazy, following the scheme and trusting their play calls. We have Lebanon player down right now.
It's Aaron Mills, who was injured on offense in the second quarter. Gets himself back on his feet. And Josh Crouch has some questions.
A little suspicious, I will say so myself, Max, how quickly he bounced back up, but we have him back down now again. We'll see. I don't know if you ever saw the infamous, I think it was Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, where he was signaling, get down, when the offenses get a little too fast on them, but in the high school level, I've never seen anybody practice any sort of thing. So we've seen a lot of cramping on our My TV 30 Friday Night Rivals games of the week. Could just be another symptom.
Mills back on his feet. Coming up in the fourth quarter of tonight's game, we will hand out all of our weekly awards, including our Bart Durham Player of the Game. Aaron Mattingly of Green Hill, hoping that's the last thing he catches tonight after many more receptions. So Green Hill loses their tempo because of the injured player. Will retake the field in the Sprints Home Furnishings red zone for second down and 2 at the 11 and 16-yard line. They'll go tight to the line with their 4-receiver set. Mattingly and Owens to the left. Jones and Aiden Sadler to the right. It's a handoff to Danyon. Looks like he's got the first down for Green Hill, and he does. It's a BMC Metalworks first down for the Hawks. BMC Metalworks providing precision machining and fabrication services throughout the Southeast area for over 45 years. The chains were slow to move, but trust me, it is a BMC Metalworks first down. Just one more thing to hurt the Green Hill tempo.
They're still not moving. Referee's talking to the chain gang right now.
Chains must be caught on something over there.
Oh, that unclipped. The best defense on the field right now, the chain. Get some sense of urgency on here right now. Let's see right now.
It probably won't be the chain gang that wins it, but during the fourth quarter of tonight's football game, we'll highlight the budget break stop of the game. Budget breaks, you could pay more, but why would you want to? First down, Green Hill. And to build the suspense there. They're at the 11 and 14-yard line.
In that tight formation again here, Max.
Braden Jones in motion. Burrows to Mattingly, broken up, but a flag. Damian Callaway was ready to celebrate when he saw the marker. And Aaron Mattingly says, you can't do that. Already 2 touchdowns in this quarter for Mattingly.
Green Hill ran a lot of smoke and mirrors in their backfield. They crossed 2 different people in front of the ball.
Defense, half the distance to the goal line, remains first down.
Let's check it out right here with Mattingly. Whenever you're going up against someone as big as Mattingly, you see that contact on the back of Mattingly. That is going to get caught. It's just so tough going to go up against someone with that big of a size difference that it's going to get drawn a lot more. And I'm surprised Green Hill doesn't keep going to Mattingly to force this unfavorable matchup.
We did see some doubles earlier in the game, but more single coverage here as Green Hill spread it out. Trying to get this ball spotted here. The chains do not move, and it was a half the distance, so it's 1st and 4. Nico Duffy cuts left, puts his shoulder down on Callaway, and is close to the marker. Second and 1.
Green Hill really controlling time of possession with their turnovers. They're onside, so now this Lebanon defense is starting to feel the fatigue of having to stay on the field the entire time. Defensive football is so reactionary that it affects the body differently than offensive football. It really starts to wear on you a lot faster.
Nick Owens will take the direct snap again here with some extra beef on the field. He threw the last touchdown as the Wildcat quarterback. Owens runs it here, puts his nose down. Touchdown, Green Hill! Nick Owens Jr. makes it 24 unanswered for the Hawks. And it's a 10-point lead pending the extra point.
I mentioned that it's hard for a spread offense when you get into a goal line to execute your certain plays because they require space. Well, Green Hill comes out with a wildcat of their own, and they're able to just fully execute it. They threw it the first time. Now they show that they can also run it. Really balanced offense from the entire field, from midfield to red zone to goal line for Green Hill.
So in this third quarter for Green Hill, 2 3-and-outs on defense, 3 touchdown drives, and an onside kick recovered to go from 14-3 down to 24-14 ahead as the man who recovered the onside kick, Caden Chandler, hits the PAT.
You can see right here, he keeps his eyes straight down, gets his shoulders in front of his knees, and the offensive lineman, if you're ever in a goal line situation, you're always coached to finish inside of the goal line. Never in the backfield, don't position block, drive your feet, and give your running back a chance to get head of steam. All it took to score on an 8-play, 50-yard drive, taking off 3 minutes off the clock on our Wilson Bank and Trust drive summary.
Nick Owens Jr. picked up his first college offer on Wednesday night from Eastern Kentucky University. The junior receiver, Wildcat quarterback, been asked to make plays in a variety of ways for Green Hill, and he says he could see himself playing any skill position, any spot on this Hawk offense.
Yeah, and he has to look forward to college, too. Eastern Kentucky, Walt Wells, that's who gave me my first offer, Max. So me and him have a little synergy there.
EKU gave Owens Jr. and Aiden Sadler their first college offers this week. They also gave Aaron Mattingly his first college offer. That was 2 games into his freshman season.
Those are so special. I'll never forget when I was in the basement with my dad getting my first offer. I don't think I smacked anyone harder just on the back right there. So you come out with a different fire after something like that.
He's Bruno Reagan, former Clarksville High and Vanderbilt offensive lineman. My name is Max Hers. Sammy Kincaid on the sidelines here in Week 5, the halfway point for both these teams in the regular season. And a big region game. Green Hill is 4-0, 1-0 in the region. Lebanon is 3-1, 2-0 in the region. After an onside kick last time, Lebanon hoping to just get the football back. They've given up 2 touchdowns since the last time they had it. It was 14-0 Lebanon late in the first half and 14-3 at halftime. 3 touchdowns for Green Hill here in this third quarter. Lebanon does get it back. It's Dame Calloway, but he's not going far. Ball's loose. Looks like they're calling him down.
It was close, Max.
Let's take another look. Forward progress may have been stopped.
Callaway getting a little bit loose on the hand right there.
Jackson Crawford had the first contact. Ethan Choate, the senior, knocked it out. But they will say no fumble. Forward progress had been stopped, and it is Lebanon football at their own 20. Coming up during the fourth quarter tonight, the Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. Certainly plenty to select from for Green Hill here in this third quarter. 2 touchdown passes to Aaron Mattingly, 1 from Cannon Burrows, 1 from Nick Owens Jr., then a rush touchdown for Owens to make it 24-14. Lebanon back on the ball. It's Sean Heath, the senior running back, with a walk-on offer from Marshall. Picks up 1 or 2.
Very important for Lebanon here to sustain a drive and give their defense a rest. Their defense has had most of the field on this third quarter. They need to be able to drive and then score. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Damian Callaway, number 1 for Lebanon, came off hobbled. He is not in on every offensive set, but he is a two-way starter who usually plays every snap both sides. Trying to set up a screen to Crowell, and the pass is way short from Case and Kincaid. 3rd and 7.
Later in the game, hands get sweatier, ball comes in a little different. Sometimes you just don't get a good grip on it off of the snap to get it out as fast as you want to. Now we're at a 3rd down.
Green Hill looking for their 3rd 3 and out of this young half. Case and Kincaid for Lebanon. Steps up and is sacked by Aiden Greer. Three times on the field, 3 3 and outs for the Green Hill defense.
Case and Kincaid had his eyes down the field that entire play, but it looked like every one of his options were covered, so he just decides, hey, I have to do something, and pulls it, but the Green Hill rush was able to stay at the line of scrimmage and was ready for that. Great coverage by Green Hill here.
2nd sack of the season for the senior Aiden Greer. Lebanon's last punt was not a punt. Cameron Nixon was unable to get it away after a big rush and then a fumble.
False start. Offense. Means 4th down.
It'll be 4th and 14. Been a tough second half so far for Lebanon. Key Crowell has not been involved much. Chuck Gentry unhappy. His team was up 14-0 late in the second quarter and 14-3 at halftime. Dallas Jackson makes the fair catch. And again, for their 3rd time in as many drives, Green Hill will start around midfield or better. What a third quarter it's been for the Hawks. Their star receiver, Aaron Mattingly, said this week they like their matchups if they execute, and they know they will pull away in the second half of this game no matter how even it is to start. Well, Bruno, they've pulled away.
They've done a great job, too, of limiting the penalties. I don't think they've had a penalty this quarter either, which was the bane of their offensive existence last half, Max. They've cleaned it up, and now they're showing how efficient they can be.
They start at the Lebanon 49 on a high pass to Braden Jones. There is a flag.
Had a knuckleball throw right there. It looked like the football was flipping the wrong way.
Personal foul. Block below the waist. 60.
An illegal block against the Green Hill offensive line. And Bruno, welcome to the booth. There's your broadcaster jinx on you right there. First penalty of the half against Green Hill.
Hopefully my first of not that many. I don't like jinxing the players, Max.
And it was your boy, the center, too.
He's wearing my high school number, too. Oh, no.
Ronan McNamara, one of 3 sophomores on the offensive line for Green Hill for a 4-0 team. Those guys have been impressive for an offensive line that returns just one of their 5 starters from last season. It's a 15-yard penalty. 1st and 25. Green Hill's second snap in their own territory all half is a screen pass to Omeza Danyan. He's escorted out of bounds by Jace Gardner.
Lebanon did a great job there when Cannon Burrows was dropping back super fast. The rush for Lebanon said, hey, hold on a second. Let's just sit on the line of scrimmage, watch this one develop. And they were able to snip that screen out pretty easily.
Danyan goes off the field holding his gut. And it'll be the first offensive snap for Ethan Choate, the senior running back in the backfield, who forced that fumble that was not meant to be on special teams a few snaps ago. There's a decoy here for Cannon Burrows. The quarterback gets them 6 or 7 yards there on what might be the final play of the third quarter. And what a third quarter it was for the Green Hill Hawks. 3 touchdowns for Green Hill to go from 14-3 down to 24-14 ahead over Lebanon. End of 3. Green Hill with a 10-point lead. Let's take a break for financial literacy with U.S. Community Credit Union. Dominant third quarter for Green Hill. Red, white, and blue on the visitor's side for the Green Hill students who made the trip. Holding up the boom box. I think he's been holding it all night. That's a heck of a workout over there. Get hawked, they say. Their boys have the football and a 10-point lead. 24 unanswered for Green Hill. Started in the final drive before halftime with a field goal. 3 tutties in the third quarter. They're looking for more. Cannon Burrows is intercepted. Jason Campbell with the pick for Lebanon, and that's what they needed.
That's one of those you want back if you're Cannon Burrow right there, because worst comes to worst, you incomplete and then you flip the field and keep Lebanon on their heels. Now that they have a little bit of momentum, you're trying to force the pass, force the first down on a 3rd and 15 where Lebanon knows they can drop more into coverage. A pretty big momentum shift right there, and exactly what Lebanon needed, as you mentioned there, Zach.
Pick for Jackson Campbell, the junior, who came in as an extra DB. And Lebanon's got it back in plus territory, down 10. Kason Kincaid hands off to Sean Heath. Green Hill swarms to the football and takes him down hard. Cooper Buckner and Braden Flackel make sure that he's pushed way behind the line after getting a gain of 1.
Lucky for the Green Hill defense, they didn't have to play much in the third quarter, so they have a lot of energy and are able to swarm to the ball in these early downs right now. It's going to take a lot from Lebanon to get them out of this freshness that the Green Hill defense has.
Start of the fourth quarter. Lebanon is 3-1 with back-to-back region wins in the last 2 games. Green Hill is 4-0 in year 4 as a school out of Mount Juliet. Been a great program over the last 3 seasons especially. As Kincaid flutters one up that, thankfully for Lebanon, hits the grass. Trying to get on the same page as Key Crowell. Both seniors. Kincaid the first-year starter. Crowell's really first time playing on offense. He started at corner last year. But those 2 guys have played football together since they were 7 years old. Key Crowell's first ever football team. Kason Kincaid was the quarterback. Now they finish up high school together. Crowell in the backfield with his longtime buddy. Facing a 3rd and 9. Kincaid throws. Incomplete, looking for John Binion, and it's 4th down. Decision time on 4th and 9. Lebanon will keep the offense on the field.
There's been some miscommunication issues for Lebanon on these play calls in these important positions right now.
4th and 9 at the Green Hill 46 for Lebanon, down 10. Kason Kincaid, flush right, flag comes in. Kincaid deep to Callaway, incomplete. And pending the penalty, it's another stop for Green Hill's defense. It is against Lebanon. Penalties declined. Green Hill football.
When the defense forces a turnover and gets the offense with great field position, it's the offense's obligation to stay on the field and not only give the defense a rest, but use that turnover momentum to try and get some points on the board. But Lebanon's been having some miscommunication issues on plays that we saw in that last drive. There are guys not even running routes just because there's some sort of issues with the play calls coming in from the sideline, and now they force a 3-and-out where they really need to start getting it together in this late game.
Both teams have had 4 offensive drives in the second half. First downs for those 4 drives aside. Green Hill 9, Lebanon 0 first downs in the second half so far. It's been 3 3-and-outs and a 4-and-out with that turnover on downs. Green Hill has taken advantage. Cannon Burrows and crew back on the football field. Burrows, a sophomore, first-year starter. Been watching the Green Hill game since the beginning. His older brother Cale is a senior starter on D-line.
Green Hill's starting to go a little slower. Let's see if that messes with their offensive efficiency.
Handoff to Omeza Danyan. Jawan Stafford slow to get up for Lebanon. He should stay down, and he does. 3rd down and 4 upcoming for Green Hill.
Now, if you're Cannon Burrows, you can learn from that last possession right there where you threw that interception on a 3rd down trying to force something. And now you know, at least if you don't convert this, you can flip the field position and still keep Lebanon behind on any possession they can possibly get right here.
Total yards in the second half. Green Hill 119. Lebanon -11.
Is that good? I don't think so.
If you go to Green Hill High School, it is. Jawan Stafford, sophomore D lineman who's made plenty of plays tonight, down injured. We will take a break while they look at Stafford. 24-14 Green Hill here on MyTV 30. Welcome back to Lebanon, where Green Hill has taken over in the second half of this first time ever Wilson County rivalry as Green Hill moves up from 5A to 6A this year into the region that Lebanon won last year. Also joined by Mount Juliet there, who both these teams will play down the road this season. Green Hill in the white, Lebanon in the blue. 3rd and 4 for Green Hill after the injury, and the clock will run. They won't let it run too far. It's a pitch back to Nick Owens Jr., who throws to the quarterback, and Cannon Burrows has the catch down inside the 25. Flag at the end of the play as Green Hill goes back into the bag of tricks.
That's a good situation to call that play call right there, because what do you have to lose, really? If it doesn't convert, you get to punt it. If it does convert, you get a first down, even better field position, a chance to score and extend your lead, and more time off the clock. So love the play call there from Green Hill, and love that they saved these plays to where it matters.
Personal foul on the defense, half the distance for the end of the run, first down.
Wow, and add on even more. Foul after the play against Lebanon's defense.
Double pitch reverse right there. Hit their who's going to cover the quarterback? And Cannon can run too a little bit. You see, he gives a step, gets vertical. Maybe a little soft on that flag, but it is what it is.
A UA local 572 first down is what it is into the Sprints Home Furnishings red zone for Green Hill. Aaron Mattingly said in an interview with us this week, we might see Cannon at receiver. And I wasn't going to say it unless they did it because I didn't want to give anything away. But Cannon Burrows, his first varsity catch. Nick Owens Jr. has thrown his first 2 varsity passes, won a touchdown to Aaron Mattingly. Now a 20-yard gain to the quarterback, Cannon Burrows.
That's a good sign of coaching, Max, when you have someone like Owens, when you know he played some quarterback maybe a little bit in his youth, and he has that in his toolkit, so you can bust that out, especially in these, this new region local rivalry where you can call something that Lebanon hasn't seen.
Owens ran a lot of the offense last week against Wilson Central, but it was all run plays with him taking the direct snaps. They've got options, these Green Hill Hawks do. And they're looking to Make this now a 3-possession game if they can get a touchdown and a PAT or 2 here. Jack Greer was down briefly for Lebanon, went off the field under his own power. So still 20 seconds on the play clock for Green Hill that they are happy to let tick off. They want to take as much time off as they can, but they love going so fast.
I know, it's an interesting conundrum. That's what we call a good problem. They're a little too successful right now.
Taking 2 minutes off the clock this drive, and it's Burrows on the run. Cannon Burrows, touchdown Green Hill. Make it 30 unanswered points with another Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical touchdown for Green Hill High School.
I want to give a shout out to this young Green Hills offensive line because they had came out and struggled a little bit with the holding. Now they're clearing the Lebanon defensive line like it's the Red Sea. To their credit, they've been able to stay on the field and really wear them down. So now it looks like they're dominating, but that's the softening process at work. Great play there by Green Hill.
Caden Chandler on for the extra point to make it a 3-possession game. A game that Lebanon led 14-0 early in the second quarter and 14-3 at halftime is now 31-14 Green Hill. 4th touchdown on 5 drives in the second half. Cannon Burrows on the run. Green Hill up 17 in the 4th quarter. The Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary in the county in which they are based. 5 plays, 54 yards for Green Hill's 4th touchdown on 5 drives in the second half so far. Ends with a 9-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, Cannon Burrows. Josh Crouch told us this week, we don't like that you guys are here. We've never won on TV. Well, they're close to changing that as the short kick is fielded and covered. And we check in with Sammy Kincaid.
Hey, Max, for an injury report, Jawan Stafford, the Lebanon player that went down on that last drive, he is now on crutches on the sideline with his left ankle wrapped in ice. He will not be returning to the game.
Thank you, Sammy, and I hate to hear that for Jawan Stafford, who's a sophomore starter on D-line. The older dudes on this Lebanon defense love him. He is big and still growing. He is a power forward / center in basketball. And a young D lineman on the Lebanon football team. So I hope he's all right. Lebanon has given up 31 points since they last scored, and Key Crowell loses the football, but it bounces out of bounds. So the play will count. Enough yardage for a first down. Gain of 17 for Key Crowell, who they got to get going if they want to make this a game again.
Yeah, but Lebanon's struggling a little bit with their top players. They're playing very well early, and they're still playing well, and they're very athletic. They get skinny at the point of attack. They get vertical, but they're getting a little loose with that ball, Max. And if Lebanon wants a chance to win, they just have to stop turning it over.
So UA local 572 first down for the Lebanon Blue Devils. Their quarterback Kason Kincaid rolls left, has Chaston Dickson for a gain of 5. UA Local 572 is the premier trainer of workers in all aspects of the piping, plumbing, welding, and HVAC industry. There's Chaston Dickson. You get to see there the awesome tiger tattoo he has on his right forearm. I don't know if we've got an all-tattoo team going this year, but Chaston is certainly on it. Lebanon down 17. Kincaid, 3-man rush, and it gets home. Cale Burrows.
Man, if you're an offensive line, there is never an excuse to let a 3-man rush get home. You have to find a way. Typically, there's one man that's man-to-man. And did Kason Kincaid hold on to the ball a little bit long? Yes, but he's trying to find an opening for this Lebanon offense. They were in a third. It would have been a 3rd and 5 if they just threw an incompletion. Now they're in 3rd and about 15 to 17, Max.
Burrows family has their fingerprints all over this second half for Green Hill as usual. Cale, the senior defensive end. Cannon, the sophomore quarterback. 3rd and long. Kincaid to Damian Callaway to set up 4th and 8.
Not a bad play by Kincaid there. You don't have to go all or nothing yet. You have 2 downs to play with. You don't want to stay in 4th and 17. At least they cut it down, so now they can give their offense a chance if they have to run a quicker route because of pressure or anything that comes up.
Call it 4th and 9 and plus territory for Lebanon. They need to keep this drive pumping if they want to come back from down 17. 31 unanswered points for Green Hill on the road. Kason Kincaid zips it. Caught by Chasten Dickson. Down inside the 20. Dickson down inside the 5, and Lebanon's living.
It looked like Kason Kincaid threw this ball as hard as humanly possible. Watch Kason Kincaid wind up, zoom, zips it right over the middle. It's like the Green Hill defense couldn't even believe he caught it or the ball was even thrown. That's what Lebanon needed right there.
4th and 9, they got 41 in the Sprint's Home Furnishings red zone. Hand off to Heath, won't get it. Carlos Owens read the mesh point all the way. May have lost a couple yards. It'll be 2nd and goal for Lebanon. Coming up on 6 minutes left in regulation.
Lebanon with a little bit of momentum, but the Green Hill defense hasn't had to play too much this second half, so they're still fresh. They're going to give a great red zone defensive look here.
Green Hill platoons pretty well. Nico Duffy, the only true two-way starter. Direct snap to Heath out of the Wildcat. He's stopped up at the line of scrimmage. Van Miller had the first contact on the defensive line.
They said we've been looking for this Wildcat, and we're in the situation now where they want to go back to it. Don't be surprised if they go back to it again.
Kincaid is back in the game here with Heath in the backfield. 3rd and goal from the 5. Lebanon with the football, down 17. Kincaid, incomplete. Pressure in his face. Aiden Greer was the first in the backfield. After they got a 4th and 9 just past midfield, they'll need 4th and goal at the 5. Any thought of kicking the field goal here?
I personally would, just because they're down 17, so they will need to cover those points somewhere. Why not now? Because if they don't convert this, Max, that could essentially be like a ball game situation. I would take the points. Looks like they're keeping their offense on the field, though.
Kason Kincaid and crew stay out there. You see 10 on the play clock. Fourth and goal. Kincaid pressured. Throws it away. Green Hill football with 5 minutes left. And the second half shutout continues for the Hawks defense.
I got to tell you, Max, this Lebanon sideline and offense, defense, it all look very defeated. And it's been a mosh posh of different situations, but Kincaid has been pressured so much on these pivotal downs, 3rd down, 4th down. There's always someone in his face. It's very hard to convert these stressful situations when you have pressure.
So Green Hill will get the football back, looking to put this game away. And when we're done, we invite you to turn to our friends at Fox 17 for FNR Football Frenzy. Complete coverage of all Middle Tennessee high school football action. Presented by Wilson Bank and Trust. Wilson Bank and Trust is proud to sponsor our local schools and student athletes both on and off the field. They're on the air right now if you're interested in scores from other games. And we'll be back on again from 10:15 to 10:30 on Fox 17 tonight. Well, everything has gone Green Hill's way in the second half, Bruno. 28-0, your second half scoreline for the Hawks.
This has been impressive as a response as I've ever seen at any level, Max. To come out, they were down 14-3. They turned the ball over twice in the first half. A bunch of penalty troubles. Now they've came back and they've executed flawlessly for an entire half. It's been really impressive.
Green Hill will bleed this clock. Burrows hands to Danyon. Gain of a couple. Will be 3rd down and 5. Time for our budget break stop of the game. Budget breaks. You could pay more, but why would you want to? One of the pivotal plays in this second half when Green Hill was down 14-10. A nearly blocked punt that became a fumble. Greenhill got on it and took the lead on that ensuing series of downs. Robert Chenault and Cooper Buckner combined for the special teams takeaway for the Greenhill Hawks. And then as our budget breaks, stop of the game. One of many in the second half for the Hill. 3rd and 5, and Omeza Danyon has a first down, and he stays in bounds. Tick, tick, tick. But there is a flag that came in at the end of the play. 2 flags, in fact. Josh Krupp doesn't know. We don't either.
Penalties. We have penalties on both teams. We have hold on offense. We have personal foul on defense. The play is offset. Replay 3rd down.
All right, we'll try it again.
He's asking what happened. There's been not a lot of specification on these penalties, but you just kind of learn to live with it at this level.
So we will try that same play. 3rd and medium for Greenhill. And the quarterback Burrows will come off the field. And Nick Owens Jr. will lead the huddle. As Greenhill tries to ensure a 5-0 start in year 4 of existence as a high school in Mount Juliet. They had never even won their season opener in any of their first 3 seasons. Now they're 3.5 minutes away from being 5-0. Owens not going to get it. Jack Kleinert and friends in the backfield.
See a few of the Greenhill players signaling they have it, but I don't think it's close.
Fourth down and 1. Greenhill has only punted once tonight. They've got the offense on the field, at least for now. Both teams have all 3 timeouts left.
Might just be trying to draw Lebanon off sides and get this free first down.
That they are. 1 second on the play clock. Timeout, Greenhill.
Don't need anything too fancy here, Max, because if your Lebanon's offense isn't designed to go down the field don't go down explosive. So just make sure you save your field position. Don't need to do anything risky on this 4th down in your own field.
Time now for our Tennessee Army National Guard play of the game. It was on the offensive series right after our stop of the game on that punt. Nick Owens Jr. out of the Wildcat to Aaron Mattingly for the 4-yard touchdown. Put Greenhill ahead for good at 17-14.
Jump pass a la Tim Tebow-esque. It's still in the game every now and then when you got a player like that.
Second touchdown for Aaron Mattingly tonight. First varsity pass for Nick Owens Jr. Their playmakers brought it in the second half. Owens, Mattingly, Duffy, Danyon, and Burrows.
They play so poised for a young team, too. They're really living up to the talent on the mental side of it as well, Max.
Nico Duffy said everybody thought this team wasn't going to be as good as past seasons. Well, they're about to be 5-0. Duffy, their senior leader, who's been there since the beginning, since they were practicing in a parking lot the week before their first ever game. And Garen Camerata is in the football game. Camerata, the senior quarterback, tore his ACL in the spring, and Lebanon calls a timeout. Greenhill looking to go for it in earnest here, looks like. On 4th and 1, deep in their own territory, trying to put the game away.
Not to get too big brain on it either, but maybe they just showed the offense so that way Lebanon had to blow a timeout and really even put them behind more on this 17-point deficit with 2.5 minutes left. Now you're down a timeout, which is very, very much needed.
Could be a special opportunity for that man, Garen Camerata. Sammy has more.
And For Green Hill, number 9 quarterback Garen Camerata coming back into the game. It will be his first snap at quarterback. And Coach told us that, hey, you know what? We'll probably see him tonight in the game. Probably airing it out more than on the ground because they do want him playing in senior night in a couple weeks. But, he's excited to come back after that knee injury. Guys, up to you.
Thank you, Sammy. Yeah, good to see that Garen is well enough to play. And we'll get his first snap of the season here. They may actually give him some extended playing time later in the year, possibly even a full game to help him get some college tape. He hands off to Omeza Danyan. That might be Lebanon football. Looks like it is. Dylan Sneed with the turnover on downs, and Lebanon gets it back with 2:32 to go. So Green Hill 2:30 away from going 5-0 halfway through this season. Still 4 region games left against Gallatin and Warren County over the next couple weeks. Then they'll end with 2 region road games at Cookeville and then a big one against Mount Juliet in week 11. 4-0 to start year 4 for Josh Crouch and the Green Hill Hawks. Back on defense, here's Key Crowell trying to score quickly for Lebanon. Running out of room. Crowell puts his shoulder down and gets everything he can. Admirable effort tonight for Crowell, who took a lick there from 5 Green Hill defenders, and he was the aggressor.
Key Crowell was running this sweep. Right now you can see I have a little bit of an issue with his ball security, but Key Crowell knows that he has to make some pretty drastic plays right there. So he's playing a little bit riskier, which I can understand.
Thatcher Davis took the punishment. We'll get credit for the tackle. Gain of 4. Kincaid, incomplete. Seemed like everybody was moving half speed there. Looking for Dame Calloway in the end zone. 3rd and 6.
It's interesting you mentioned that, Max, because I've been kind of seeing the same thing in this 4th quarter. It seems like these guys are kind of just playing the timeout right now, and they're conceding a little bit. I'd like to see some effort here.
Lebanon led this game 14-0 with a touchdown midway through the 2nd quarter. Green Hill got a field goal in the final 2 minutes of the first half to make it 14-3 at halftime. Then they scored 3 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter and 1 more here in the 4th to make it 31 in a row. Kincaid trying to end that, zips it past Chasen Dickson. Incomplete, 4th and 6.
Been a strange last 3 minutes of the game. Green Hill kind of went for the quote-unquote win, going for it on their own 19-yard line, and now Lebanon's they're really struggling on offense in the second half to get anything going.
Lebanon trying to avoid their first region loss. They're 3-1 overall, 2-0 in region with back-to-back wins. 4th and 6. Kincaid pressured and sacked. Carlos Owens gets him, but a flag right at the end of the play.
Personal foul, defense.
And it's a face mask on Owens as he sacked him.
Gives Lebanon a little get-out-jail-free card because that would have been a turnover and surely essentially the game. Now they have a little bit of life. Not much, but a little bit. Watch his right hand right here. Slips by, might have just been a potential miscall by the referee if he was on the backside.
Another D lineman hit the face mask with the outside of his hand, but it certainly wasn't a grab. And Josh Crouch said the ref, who didn't have the best view, just called that. Coaches tend to see everything. It's impressive.
They do. It is an impressive trait. That's how I know I can't be a coach. I don't see these things like they do. I'm watching the whole play. They have special eyes for this.
See if we get anything else from Scott Spielman.
Personal foul on the defense, half the distance. The result is first down.
No new info there, and the penalty will stay as called.
Did they just call the same penalty twice? Okay.
1st and goal for Lebanon after what would have been a turnover on downs. Their very slim hopes do stay alive, down 17 with 2 minutes left. Everybody squared away here and ready for first and goal. Kincaid puts it up to Crowell, fighting to get to the goal line, and he won't get there. Gabe March, Dallas Jackson, and Aiden Greer.
Three Green Hill defenders right there are able just to stuff him on the 1 yard line, forcing more time to come off the clock, or at least a forced timeout, but it looks like they're just going to run the time.
Gabe March with the tackle, and then some help from another two. Kincaid chased, throws, touchdown Lebanon. Chasten Dickson. Lebanon doing everything they can to keep this game alive.
Just a quick rollout pass by Kincaid here. A little bit lightly guarded. There was nobody within 2 yards of him. That's an easy pitch and catch for the first down. I think Green Hill expected them to rush the ball there, so they caught him a little bit off guard.
Dickson with the catch. Extra point could make it a 10-point game with 1:28 to go and 2 timeouts for Lebanon. Third touchdown of the season for Chasten Dickson, the senior receiver. He's got 4 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown tonight, as Lebanon is a player short on the line.
They were 2 players short. They just had to run out a second wing.
Extra point is good by Cameron Nixon. So 31-21 with 1:28 to go. Our Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary after the turnover on downs. 5 plays, 14 yards. A game-saving penalty. And a 1-yard touchdown pass from Kincaid to Dickson for the Wilson Bank and Trust scoring summary for Lebanon. Time to crown tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Bart Durham Injury Law. No doubt it was the man who put this game in a stranglehold in the second half for Green Hill. Star receiver Aaron Mattingly.
Came into this game with 6 touchdowns, 5 games through the season. So you know anytime you get into the red zone, the goal line, or even midfield, he has the explosiveness to find the end zone no matter what. He tacks on 2 more touchdowns. He has 7 catches for 94 yards this game. Our Bart Durham player of the game, Aaron Mattingly.
8 touchdowns in 5 games now for Mattingly, who has offers from Vanderbilt, West Virginia, Coastal Carolina, Memphis, UT Martin, Tennessee Tech, and Eastern Kentucky. There are certainly many more coming for a guy who was not a full-time player until this year. Played basketball up through middle school, recruited to play football, came out for the team, and here he is having the time of his life. He will come out as a member of the hands team now, as Lebanon will attempt an onside kick. Down 10 with 1:28 to go. They do still have 2 timeouts. Lebanon will go with their second kicker, Juan Jimenez, on this onside. He's lined up to kick it away from Mattingly. Onside kick. Green Hill already recovered 1 as the offensive team, and they'll recover 1 on defense. Thatcher Davis. And Green Hill's got it back, up 10 with 1.5 to go.
So in that situation, Lebanon has to wait 10 yards before they're able to touch the football. Green Hill can run up and touch the football at any point. So you see right here, they run up about 4 yards before Lebanon's able to even touch it. You're not able to progress the football. That's why it's called the hands team. You just secure it and get down. Green Hill secures it. I think a first down ends this game for them, Max.
Davis, who recovered it. Senior, one of their starting corners. The special teams play for Josh Crouch's crew. It's been a slow walk to the finish, but they are ready to be 5-0 after a dominant third quarter and second half. Lebanon does call a timeout. They have 1 remaining. Well, on the Lebanon side, this loss will drop them to 3-2 if it holds here, barring an extremely unlikely comeback. They will stay in county but go out of region next week for another home game. This is the first of 3 home games in a row as they take on Watertown. Josh Corey's boys from Dubtown will be here next week. And Then another big one after that. 4 straight Wilson County games. Wilson Central will be here